Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Keegz, and welcome to podcast number 35 on the 11th of January 2016. It's a new year.
Yay, New Year!
Yay!
I'm excited.
Boo.
I'm joined with, of course, Xenon.
I am always here, even in the future. Even in 2016, I am here.
Yes. And Fotis.
I have not been here very often in the past, and I apologise.
And you
He's
will
now here in the
also
future.
not be here in the future.
Quite possibly.
He's an intermittent being. He's like a
I was on the last one.
Were you in the Christmas one?
Was.
Yeah.
Did you give me?
Yes,
We
yes.
did the video.
Well, did you bring me a present?
Why would I bring you a present?
Oh, fuck off then. No presents. Go away. I didn't get any presents. I didn't get a
Bit
single
rough.
present from either of you guys.
I didn't get any presents either.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I may have forgot to
Good
get you
start to the new year. Everybody's being a cunt.
one. My New Year's resolution is to be less of a cunt.
More presents, less cunty.
That was that.
How was your Christmas, Keegz?
My Christmas was drunken and disorderly. How was yours?
Sure was. You know, you
Sober.
still smelled like booze when I picked you up from the airport?
Oh, I'm not surprised. I was drunk when you picked me up from here.
Yes. Yes, you were.
Hey, it's a long flight from Melbourne to Tasmania. It took about 40, 50 minutes. I needed to get drunk on the way back.
He was drunk before he left. You got drunk on the plane. He was drunk when he got home.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
Well, why not? Fotis, I'm not going to ask how your Christmas was because actually, tell us for the sake of the viewers. Tell us how your Christmas was. I already know, but go ahead anyway.
For posterity.
Posterity.
I spent Christmas morning working.
Oh, that's right. You didn't get there until like 1 o'clock. Or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't there I didn't finish until 1 o'clock, and then I got there about 2 o'clock.
You say you were working, but like,
And
you also
everybody,
told me.
when I got there, everybody was essentially dead.
Dead?
Nobody was going to move.
Like
Because you'd already eaten all the food, and everybody was lying about, like...
Oh, you mean when you
Lots.
got to Mum's?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were pretty slow by
Unbelievable.
that stage.
I turned up all full of fucking energy. And everyone's like, yeah, we're going to go home soon.
Well, you did turn up after the party had finished. Like, we had lunch and presents and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never
well.
mind. But anyway, you were
It's rough, man.
weren't you
It's
saying that there were no cars on Christmas Day? Like they're all gone.
Oh, yeah, we ran out of cars. We ran out of cars weekly.
Well, yeah. So what the fuck were you doing?
We ran out of cars yesterday. Stand around, have a chat. Clean up a bit.
You weren't exactly busy on Christmas morning. You weren't running around, charging around. You know.
Oh, there
elbow
were
grease.
lots of cars that needed to be done. We just didn't have any cars. So it's not like we can magic up the car ferry for a few cars that, out of nowhere.
When you say there's no cars,
We just have to wait for more cars to come back.
A big empty car lot, and you guys, a bunch of guys standing around going, "Well,
That's
there's
it.
nothing to do."
You know what? I'm going to get my phone out and I'm going to send you a picture of the car lot with no cars in it. Because I did take a photo.
Okay. Of an empty
It
car lot.
won't be any good for the viewers, but
Well, maybe
Yeah.
I'll
That's right.
stick it on the stream, and they'll be like, "Oh, look, an
you
empty
can
car
do
lot."
that. Probably not a good idea. I don't think I'm allowed to do that under the conditions of my employment.
Oh, okay. But I can because I'm not employed by them.
Yes, that's right.
It's all good.
It would have just been a random walking in off the street.
Look at the picture I took.
Yeah. It's a massive car lot. Like, you can fit 300 or 400 cars in there. And it was empty.
Well,
Anyway,
getting back to gaming news. What did I do for Christmas? I went up to my mum's and we ate a lot of food and then sat around and went, "Oh my god, my belly," and then went home. That was kind of it, really. That was
Good
it.
times.
yeah.
That's what we did. It was fun.
Yeah. Went home as soon as I got there.
10 minutes after, 15 minutes after at least. Saw you for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, it's enough time to be family.
Yes, a good family is one
Yeah,
you
I'll
only
send it
see
to you.
once a year.
Yeah.
Like Keegz has
Pretty
got
much how our
Every
family
couple
works.
of
Yeah.
years.
all his families in Melbourne.
Well, all over the country. They
Like,
all came to
further
Melbourne.
away
We
than-
just got really drunk for about 6 days, and
You
swam
did
in a
keep
pool
sending me,
and-
like, said
big
not me
party
personally, but you did keep posting pictures on Facebook of you just sitting next to the pool with a beer in your hand, and I'm like, you lazy fucker.
good times.
Love
Much
it.
drinking, many
Much drinking.
pooling. There was some SingStar that got really awkward. It was
As SingStar does.
Right.
there was many good times to be had.
Rose says, for near enough Christmas, the 27th, I flew from Australia to the UK. Fucking hell. Going through the airport was weird. It was almost completely empty. I reckon it would be on Christmas. On the 27th. Yeah. I thought there would be a lot of people coming back from Christmas.
On Christmas, I used to have to fly a lot on Christmas Day, and one thing I found is that no Australians will fly on Christmas Day. It's all Asians
It's too fucking far.
because
All
the
tourists.
flights are super cheap because nobody wants to fly on Christmas Day, and the Asians don't care about Christmas.
What the fuck? There's cars in this car lot. What the
Works
fuck
for
are you
them.
talking about? That's bullshit. You told me this car lot was empty.
Oh, there's some up the back like the sale cars. We're
There's
not allowed
hundreds
to
of
use
them in
those.
there.
No.
Look, I can see a fucking four-wheel drive, and there's mostly fucking Kias and shit, but there's a lot of cars.
Well,
that
it's
all
because
look the same.
they're all
Camrys.
they're all Hyundais. But
Hyundais, yeah.
all those cars at the back, they don't count. We're not allowed to use those
Why not? Like a rabies.
because they're sale cars.
Oh, I bet you could use them if you really had
We're not
to.
allowed to drive them. We're not allowed to rent them out if they're over 90,000 k's.
Not allowed to, or is it company policy?
Company policy.
Yeah, you can fucking rent them out. Bend that
Well,
rule
we
if you're
did
out of
actually
cars.
over Christmas. We did have to bend that rule because we'd hired out 50 cars that we didn't have,
Exactly.
so we had to pull 50 cars out of the sale yard.
Yep.
But anyway,
Anyway, so that was our Christmas.
in any case, normally that yard is chock a block full of cars. So
why is there so many
we essentially
cars?
had no
If,
cars.
like, surely you'd have it at a point where you'd only have so many cars. Like, why would you have so many cars just sitting there doing nothing? Is it for the couple of times a year when you actually?
Because they want to sell them, and they can't put more Ks on them because it'll depreciate the value.
I suppose. I have to say my car's probably depreciated quite
That's
a
the
lot. It's got
ticket.
330,000 Ks on it.
Yeah, but because this is a rental, they want to sell the cars again to get most of the value of them back.
Mm.
And after 90,000 Ks, they depreciate by quite a lot. So they want to keep them as low as possible so that they can resell them.
Fair enough. What about New Year's? Keegz, what did you do for New Year's?
The party at my house.
Yeah,
Right.
it was a party at Reese's house.
How did that go?
That was alright.
I had a ball.
Pretty tame.
I did,
Oh, yeah.
I did see that
Had
you
fun,
kind
though.
of organised it a little bit late. Most people were like, yeah, we're already doing something. I was like, yeah, probably should have organised this a couple of days ago. Never mind.
No, it's only because it was mentioned at like a party I had before. It's like, oh, we should have New Year's here. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll be here. But then I only got back on the 28th, so I'm like, okay, is it still happening? Because I'll be here, but I don't know what's going on anymore.
Nobody's organised it in my
There were
absence.
about
the party shed
about
is
7 of
open.
us turned
Whoever
up,
wants,
right?
whoever wants to show up can show up.
I would have
I
showed
don't
up,
really care.
but I ended up playing board games that night anyway. So it was rock and roll at my place.
Actually, we ended up playing card games. That was right.
Cards
Yeah.
Against Humanity or just card
Yeah,
games?
playing beer pong and poker, and
Oh yeah. Who won at
Yeah.
beer pong?
Peter won at beer pong.
Is it because you had to
Yeah,
drive
right,
home
you did.
afterwards and you were the sober one?
Fuck off! I drove home afterwards. Slept in the car. I did. I threw the single mattress in the car.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. The things you do when you're young.
Inside was too dangerous. There was too much vomiting and movement, and
Oh
couldn't
yeah.
sleep inside the house.
No. Dangerous in there.
Good New Year's, good times.
Also, there's a 4-year-old child that comes and kicks you in the head first thing in the morning.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, I can't wait to look forward to that.
Yeah, you'll love
It's
it.
good fun. He's getting pretty good at Mario though.
He is.
Yeah, he can get
You
to
were
level
saying that
3
he
by
was,
himself.
Yeah, he was getting to level 3.
I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, I might actually just stream Cooper playing Mario. Because
reckon
listening
people
to him play it is pretty funny. Because I'll sit there while he's playing it, whatever. It was on like level 2 of the original Mario, and there's 2 mushrooms come over towards him, jump on one, the other one will run away. It's like, why do you think he's running away? I think he's scared of me. I'll wait for him to come back. Then he'll come back and he'll jump on his head. And then another time it'd be like he'll miss the mushroom to make him bigger. He's like, oh, I think I'm just going to die because I wanted that mushroom. So he'll jump down and there'll be some turtles coming. I'm like, I'm just going to let these turtles get me because I really want that mushroom. And then he'll die and start the level again.
That's clever.
Kids today.
Adorable.
Adorable.
You should definitely stream that, Keegz. I think there's money to be made there.
Yeah, I was just thinking about putting him up on a stream,
absolutely.
put a mic in front of him and just see what he does.
You should hurry up and monetize that child.
Yeah, make some goddamn money out of that child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start earning his
And his keep.
And just keep- No, Dad, I don't want to get on the YouTube. You get back on the YouTube, son. You need to make some money.
Daddy doesn't want to work. Daddy wants to
goddamn
lay
it.
down all day and drink beer. So you get back on the YouTube, damn it.
Back down the YouTube mine.
child slavery.
Yeah, so
Force
You
your
wanna get
child
out of
to
this
play
and you'll
games all
earn-
day.
you'll earn your fucking university degree and you'll go to university and go find yourself another job. Until then, back on the
Boy,
YouTubes.
Boy, today you're playing Hotline Miami. You will fucking enjoy it.
You will love it.
Dad,
Love it.
Can't I go and do homework? No, you're playing Mario again.
Can't I play Angry Birds? No, you get back on the schedule.
Fucking Mario birds.
Mario Birds. Okay, well, if you've got any questions, tweet them to us at Keegz or at Xenon_ST during the podcast, or leave a comment below after the stream is ended, or leave a comment below during the stream, because we tend to see it there more than we check our Twitter. Shall we get on with the headlines?
Yes.
Correct. Because I'm not on Twitter.
You're not on Twitter.
On to the headlines.
To the headline.
I am on Twitter, but I never check it.
First headline. Hideo Kojima to be inducted into the AIAS Hall of Fame. I've no idea what that is. I've never heard of it before. But apparently he's only the 21st person to ever be inducted.
What is the AIAS Hall of Fame?
I'm
Sure
glad
it's
you
run
asked.
by, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it's run by like EA Dice, isn't it?
It's called the DICE Awards.
Yeah.
But I don't know what AIS. Oh, Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. Go figure.
There you go.
Ooh.
It's good.
So
It's about time he got recognised.
What was stopping him from being inducted when he was working for? Who was he working
Konami.
for? Made
Konami.
Metal Gear.
Um,
Konami. That's them.
I
And it was most likely Konami that was stopping him.
yes.
Yes, that's kind of what I'm hinting at.
I don't think there's any reason for him just to not be. I don't know. Like I don't think there's anything
All of
stopping
a sudden, he's been allowed out of the cage, and he's been.
I reckon
been
Konami
inducted
would have
into
stopped
the-
him. He would have been under a non-disclosure agreement for anything. Hence why he wasn't on the
Yeah, but that
fucking
doesn't
title for Metal Gear Solid.
I guess it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Do you know who's presenting
Yeah.
this award?
I
At this
think that
award
was.
ceremony?
Not Konami, is
Guillermo del Toro, who's a.
Oh, actually, yes,
director.
I did know that. Yeah, yeah, because they worked together on PT.
We did indeed.
it? Oh, really?
So that's interesting.
Yeah,
Well, bugger me.
because he wanted to work with him on the new Silent Hill, but then whatever happened behind closed doors cancelled it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Rose has got the
hopefully
right
now
idea.
that he is a free agent,
Huh?
he can do it now.
Rose's hashtag fuck
Sorry.
Rose
Konami.
says, "Fuck Konami."
Fuckinami,
Fuck
yay!
Konami,
Fuck
yay.
Konami.
Jim Stanley, Jim fucking Sterling, son, Fuckinami.
This
For
is-
anybody
say
who
I
watches
watched
Jim
Jim
Sterling. No,
Oh,
no. His whole he does he has a Patreon thing, and he does like weekly just episodes of anything happening in gaming, or mostly how.
Oh, I know what he
fucking
does, I
other
just don't
people-
watch it.
Yeah. Well, but at the end of every video, he has the fuck Konami news, and he just talks about whatever Konami done wrong that week.
Oh, really?
It's a deep well to pull
Yeah.
from.
The
He hates
the
he hates
Konami
Konami.
dick moves.
I think pretty much
He's
everybody
hated
in the
Konami
game.
ever since Well, he's hated them ever since they blacklisted him because he talked bad about one of their games. So they blacklisted him off of like the media
Really?
PR, so that
wow.
he wouldn't get any information or anything
No
about
early
him. So
access stuff,
after that,
wow.
he's just like, well, you know what? Fuck Konami, and just went on this big rampage, which wasn't hard on his end really because they sort of asked for everything they ever did.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. So how old do you reckon Hideo Kojima is? When I look at him, he looks like a scrawny sort of
50.
20.
It's very hard to tell.
22-year-old.
He's got a very smooth face.
He does. He's.
I'd
But
say he's about 50.
I reckon he's around about 50 because he started his
Yeah.
career in 1986. I would have been 3 at the time.
He is.
I would have been
52.
0.
He does not
He
look
was
like he's
born
52.
he was born in 1963.
Fucking hell. So he looks.
He's a well-aged 52.
He's got the what's the guy from Star Trek?
He's about 30 centimeters tall, shorter than I am.
30 centimeters shorter.
Oh, I was going to say he's 30 centimeters tall. What?
No.
He's a midget with perfect skin.
Amazing what they can do with a green screen these days.
Yeah.
He's the guy Patrick Stewart. He's got the Patrick Stewart gene, where he just like after a certain point he doesn't age anymore. He's got to live forever.
Doesn't
age.
age. It's Asians. Asians don't age. Well, they either don't age or they age really badly. It's one or the other with Asians.
I did see we're getting into racist territory here.
Bit of racism.
But I'm gonna forge ahead. I did see a thing the other day. It was a cartoon. It was like a 5-panel cartoon, from like left to right, and it was like how
The Asian mother.
how an Asian mother ages, and it's like 18.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like 0 to 18. They look like an 18-year-old. 18 to like 35, they look like an 18-year-old. 35 to 50, they look like an 18-year-old. 50 to 60, they look like a wrinkly old woman, and then 60 plus, they're like this tiny, really
Yeah.
short woman with like tiny
Menopause.
little eyes. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that's right. Menopause hits and they turn into a Goomba.
That's what the fuck is a Goomba?
What?
What's a Goomba?
What is a Goomba?
What's a Goomba?
It's a mushroom out of
Mario.
Mario.
Oh, I see.
It's the evil mushrooms.
The trouble is that Xenon and I didn't grow up with Mario.
We didn't
We grew up with
grow up.
Gianna Sisters.
We are with Gianna Sisters.
Fucking how old are you though? You must know what Goombas are by
No.
now, surely.
No, we didn't. Well, we
Oh, I
Play
never,
games.
remember we never owned. We didn't really own consoles until the PlayStation 1. I think
It doesn't matter. You've played games. You know the history
Yes.
of games. So you know what.
Yes.
Sure,
That's the only reason that I don't know what a Goomba is.
I didn't know what a Goomba
Yeah.
was. But now I know. Thanks, Keegz. The more you know. Aw.
You've been ostracised from the community.
From the gaming
You
community
don't
for not knowing what a Goomba is.
Fuck. Don't even
Yeah.
know the fucking enemies of Mario. You're
I wish
The
I
very
had.
basics of gaming.
Disgraceful you are.
I wish I had one of those things that like Total Biscuit has, where he puts the little text thing at the bottom, and it's like Xenon does not know what a Goomba is. Well, Xenon is a Goomba.
So
So
you could do that.
I could. Yeah, I could. Actually, it's probably trivially easy to do, but I haven't done it, so I'm not going to. So Hideo Kojima gets
Can't argue with that.
be inducted into the AIS Hall of Fame, and that's to happen on the 19th. No, that's not right. On February the 18th. Fuck.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. AIS. It's the 19th
AIS
DICE
Hall of
Awards,
Fame.
and he's the 21st member to be inducted on February the 18th. There's a lot of numbers.
Good.
In there. The Man Lake
Deserves
Convention
it.
Center in Las Vegas.
The DICE Awards.
The DICE. D-I-C-E. I think that's what the award ceremony is called, but it's by
As
the
in
Academy of Interactive
The people
Arts
who
and
make
Science.
Battlefield.
I think
No.
so. Yes, yeah, absolutely. People who make it.
Really?
I have no idea.
Fair enough.
I hope not, because I wouldn't want to be associated with them.
Moving on. MLG has been purchased by Activision /
Speaking of not wanting to be associated with them,
Blizzard. Well, Blizzard's not that bad.
who are MLG?
I have no
Is
idea.
it a CS:GO team?
Major League Gaming. No, MLG is Major League Gaming is the website that. It's not really CS:GO related. It's just.
Esports in general.
Yeah, it's mostly like COD and things like that. It's a pretty big thing
Although
for
they
people who watch
they
COD.
lost the Call of Duty Pro League to ESL, didn't they, recently?
Yeah, it's because ASL's way better.
Yeah.
The MLG website, I was forced to watch one of the semi-majors of CS:GO on MLG, and it was fucking horrible.
Why? Is it just like bad
Terrible.
quality or ads or what?
It's like it's not. I couldn't even compare.
Was
it
that
to
the night
Twitch.
that you were trying to watch the game, but you ended up just watching it on CS:GO instead?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I just
it was
watched
easier to watch it as a watcher in CS:GO than it was to watch the live stream.
As an observer. Yeah, it's kind of like, if anybody remembers, like Justin TV, like the old school streaming.
Oh yeah, that was pre-Twitch.
Yeah, it's just shit. There's like terrible navigation. The quality is crap.
Xenon is furiously
searching
Justin
MLG.
TV. What's this shit?
Yeah. But
Furious researching.
You make me feel so old.
MLG was like this. It was kind of the original esports site before Twitch started, getting some ground with gaming and stuff like that. And that's why there's so many jokes about MLG. It's like, oh, he's MLG Pro, 360 no scope, MLG, boop, 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 siren.
That's not where the 360 no scope come from, though, is it?
Yeah, it is. It came from COD on MLG. MLG Pro, MLG, Major League Gaming, MLG.
Alex says the MLG site's down for him.
Yeah, it probably is after it's been bought out.
Too many people tried to look at it.
I don't even know what, like, I'm assuming Activision has obviously bought it for Call of Duty, considering that was the most played game on MLG. I don't know why. I don't know if Blizzard is going to take it on as well for maybe trying to push Hearthstone, or for some reason WoW, maybe trying to get some shit back into WoW. But yeah,
Get some shit back into WoW.
I don't think this is going to change anything, because MLG was basically all COD anyway, so having Activision buy it out is just going to mean it's all COD all the time.
Cool.
All COD all the time.
Doesn't really change anything for anyone, because unless you like COD, nobody fucking goes to MLG. And because was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. They got their spokesperson became PewDiePie. They brought him in to come and be sort of, I don't know if he was a caster or whatever. He was just a face for MLG,
Associated with it in some random way.
Yeah. He was contracted by MLG, and I think he had to post certain videos on there or something. I don't know. But, I don't go
That
to
motherfucker
MLG
doesn't
for
get
any
out of
reason.
bed for less than $100,000.
Yeah. Well, he's doing his own TV show now.
Is he? What's it? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember Total Biscuit
So
saying
Scare Me or whatever.
No. Wasn't he? Didn't he have his own game or something? Or am I confusing it with
Oh
something
yeah,
else?
that too. That's a phone game though. But he's got a TV show as well in America.
Jesus. What's it about?
It's basically like it's a real life scare thing where it's kind of a cool idea.
It's about PewDiePie.
No, well, it's not about him. What they do is they come to his house, because he actually vlogged most of it without vlogging the actual show, but he'd vlog what was going on outside of it, which was kind of interesting. But they come to his house with the TV crew and everything, basically kidnap him, take him somewhere, and then put him through a traumatic experience and record it. So
They put him through a traumatic experience.
Yeah, they put him like a coffin, like blindfold, and then wake him up and fucking throw goo at him and put him through a scary house or something. Just they put him through horror movies basically, and just record
I think I'd
his
actually watch
reactions.
that.
Yeah,
I don't think I would.
I
would,
might
just 'cause
do.
I don't like him.
His
You don't
vlog
like
was
him?
kind of interesting about it.
I don't mind him.
I don't like him.
I don't really like he's a little bit too.
I don't like
I
his
like his
content.
stage
I like
persona.
him. I like him. I don't
Yes.
like his content, but I
Yeah,
like him.
that's my thing. Like, he's actually quite a mature person, but the persona he puts on is quite immature. It appeals to the 12-year-olds, I think. And it's not something.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
really
that's
that
what he's
interested
aiming for.
in.
That's what all the big YouTubers aim for.
I guess so.
12-year-olds is
PewDiePie-
where the money's at, apparently.
PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, they're all
Not many
they're all-
industries
they're all
where you can say
aiming-
that.
They're all aiming for tweens, which is where the money is.
Why is there so much money in fucking tweens?
Because so many of them watch.
Sorry.
Apparently that's
Why is there so much money in fucking tweens?
Where is this money? I need to get into some of this. Okay, moving on.
It's fucking twins.
Fucking tweens. Moving on. Steam sold 3.5 million in games last year. Sorry, no. Let me back up. 3.5 billion with a B in games last year, and that does not include DLCs or stuff like shit in Dota or hats at Team Fortress 2, shit like that.
Bet you I know where 80% of that was.
Where?
Hats.
Early access.
Yeah, EA.
Oh yeah.
Early access.
No, early access.
Well, not EA.
EA.
Yes,
Not
EA.
EA's on Origin, man.
EA.
Fuck.
That makes no sense at all.
EA's just swooped in.
Bastards.
It's like, hey, Battlefront, yay, it's not on Steam.
3.5 billion. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
This
imagine,
is US dollars.
would be, yeah.
A lot of money.
It's a fuckload of money.
So it's about 800 billion Australian pesos.
So that's about 16 corks
I
all around the hat.
I don't think we can call the Australian dollar the dollar anymore. The dollar implies it has some sort of value.
We don't have any
Monetary
cents.
value, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we should call it the Australian
Wait,
peon.
so that's just in
Peon.
sales though. That's not in profit though.
No, that's just that's gross
Because
sales.
you can pee on it.
Okay.
But the bit that surprised me was that it doesn't include all the A DLC, and B stuff like the hats and shit from the market and trading. That was just
Which
games.
is like
Yeah, that's because they don't
400%
want you
of
to know
games
how
now.
much money they actually made.
That's not even that. I mean, they don't want you to know. I mean, I don't think they don't want you to know. It's just that they've got no reason to tell everyone.
Dollary dues.
The dollary dues, because they're a private
Dollary
company.
dues.
They're not a public. They're not
I
a
keep
public.
saying that on Reddit. Dollary dues. That'll be 10 Australian dollary dues.
Dollary dues. There you go.
There you go. That'll be $6 dues. Thanks. Cheers, Cobber.
It sounds like something Ned Flanders would
You
say.
done it. You done yourself a good bargain there on the dollary dues. Mate, you go around the diner.
Sharon.
No raping the diner, Alf.
You go see Alf, and he'll give you a good bargain on the dollary dues. I'll tell you what.
Oh dear. Yeah. So
Cheers.
in 2015, there was over 3,000 new games found their way onto Steam. I'm guessing most of them in early access. 350 million games were sold.
It's become a dirty term now, hasn't it?
Free to play.
Access.
Oh,
Yep.
early access. Yeah.
It's not like
Early access.
whenever
Early
anyone
access
talks
is
about
dead.
early access, it's always in
Dead.
hushed tones. Like, is there something wrong with it?
Yeah.
'Cause there is something wrong with it. You're paying for a game that isn't fucking
Because
finished.
it's not fucking finished. Is what's wrong with it?
Yeah, you're paying for a demo.
What if they released
Well, not even a demo.
like in the good old days where you got a demo to see what a game was like before you bought it?
Back in the 90s.
What if they did that for
Well, that's what early access now.
Well, except you don't. Except
Well,
you have to
yeah.
pay for it early. So what if they?
Yeah, because people keep doing it. That's what's happened.
I
They're
know.
like,
It's,
oh,
I
this
know.
is
No.
basically a demo.
The problem is
but
people,
hey,
not with
gotta pay for
the devs. Like, I mean, the devs offered this, and people were saying, "Fuck yes, I'll hold."
But when you pay for it early,
yeah.
well, when you pay for it early, what you are paying for is not the crappy version that you're going to get right now. What you're paying for is the version that you intend to eventually get that's going to be finished. What you are getting right now is just whatever they've done.
Yeah, and the problem is even with that, it's like you're saying like you should have a demo for the early access. You play a demo, it's like, oh yeah, this is okay because I put all the effort in the demo. You buy the early access, you play the early access, like, well, this is much more than the demo, and then like, we didn't really get enough people pay for it, so we're not going to finish it. So you've just spent fucking your time wasted on a demo, and then your money
what did
wasted
we play
on
the
a
other
bit
day?
more of a demo. Medieval Engineers.
What did we play the other day that kept crashing? That's the one.
Civ 5.
We didn't actually buy it. I think Nate Dogg paid for a 4-pack or something for us.
Yeah.
We played it for 20 minutes, and it crashed every time without fail.
Yeah.
When we were playing multiplayer.
Well, actually, like Xenon
So
just
all
said,
that's
we also
happened there.
we also played a fucking completed game, Sim 5, who kept crashing every fucking 80 turns. And that's a completed, finished fucking game.
That was a game that came out 20 years ago.
Only 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 fucking years, they still can't fix it. That's not early access. That is a full-fledged fucking published game from 2K Entertainment.
It wasn't 4 years ago, was it? It was longer than that.
Yeah, no, it's about 4 years ago. Because they've only just released the new one. But
Maybe I'm thinking of Civ 4.
What, Civ 6?
That is published by 2K, who makes things like NBA, not NBA, fucking 2K15, whatever. All the basketball games and all these other sports games. The big company. Oh, actually, I say that, but they also made fucking Evolve, so that should fucking.
This is a Sid Meier game.
Yes, but it's
published by 2K.
His name's on it. I don't think he's actually got much to do
Sid
with it.
Meier used to be a byword
It's also
for quality.
not.
Back in my
I don't
day.
even think it is. I don't even think it is a Sid Meier game anymore.
Probably not really anymore.
I know 4 was. I don't think Civ 5 is. Have a look.
On Steam, when you search for Civ 5, you push C, you don't get Civ 5. You push S, you get Sid Meier's Civ 5.
No, it is Sid Meier Civ 5. Well, it's still published by 2K, so that's an issue. Because as I said, 2K are also the publishers of Evolve, which is a fucking burden
September
on this
2010.
planet.
So 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Math works out.
Linux Steam OS on 2014. So it could have been our 2014 Game of the Year.
If we'd been around in 2014.
Well, I was around.
Well, it would have been, except the multiplayer doesn't fucking work.
I wonder if it used to work and now it's broken.
We got to what?
No,
was it turn
never
80?
did work.
No.
And that's the problem everybody has. I was looking for a fix all day today, and everybody says it gets to turn 80 to 100.
If you search
game
the
crashes.
forums,
Yeah.
If you search the
You can't have
forums,
more
it's just
than-
packed full of people complaining that it crashes after 80 turns.
Yeah. You can't have more than 4 players, or the PC can't handle it. Doesn't matter how good your PC is.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lovely story,
Which
gentlemen.
is-
I liked it very much.
Yeah.
There's a tip for new players.
Don't buy Civ 5.
Civ 5. Don't buy. In fact, I would go so far to say, don't buy completed games either. Don't buy early access games. Don't buy completed games. Just don't buy anything at all.
If you have more than 4 friends, that
Single-handedly
intend to play
caused the
Civ
collapse
5,
of the gaming industry.
don't buy it.
I laugh
Yeah,
at
it's an Arkham
some-
Knight as well.
Someone earlier said, hang on, where was it? MLG's site is down for me. Weird. And I was like, I think we crashed the MLG site. We sent 4 people on there and it crashed.
Yeah. We had 4 people went over there and crashed it.
The mouse called Gerald, he couldn't quite keep up with the hamster wheel running the servers.
He couldn't keep up with it. Oh,
This
dear.
is one dude
Couldn't keep up with demand. He had to have a nap.
dragging IPs into the thing.
That's it.
Uh,
He's got to grab the
it's
piece
up
of
for
paper
me.
from one end of the room.
I'm imagining like an old style telephone switchboard where they've got to pull one cable out and put in the next one as a little mouse.
Oh yeah. I was thinking one of those ticker tape things where it goes tick, 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 tick. And then there's always a bloke like reading the line of stuff as
Yeah.
if he quite understands it.
I'm reading it in binary.
Yep, no, all the current streamers
Yeah,
on
board games is where
MLG.
it's at. There's a lot of money in board games at the moment.
Farnard has hit the nail on the head. I played board games for New Year's Eve instead of going out and getting shit faced and chasing chicks. So yeah, board games.
Good of you.
Good for me. Speaking of, I don't know, 10 million copies of Gary's Mod have been sold over the 2015-2016 transitional period. How about that?
Yeah,
Can we just talk
it's very
about what
popular.
Rose has mentioned? The press embargoes for games?
I already don't buy release games, especially with more and more press embargoes happening.
Press embargoes.
Okay, I mean,
There was a game that came out.
Yep.
There was a game that came out recently that a bunch of, I'm trying to think of what it's called, that I only saw played by well-known YouTubers for a long time, and they actually invited all these YouTubers to their offices
right.
to play the game.
That was Primal, the new Far Cry.
Primal. Yeah, Far Cry.
Right, I haven't heard anything about
But-
this.
No,
Go ahead.
that's got
that-
a very serious press embargo because they wouldn't even let them play the games in their own.
Oh, right, they wouldn't even send it
their own
They're
time.
known. The Ubisoft are known for doing
No.
that. They do that. They do that every time. They have what they call camps, where they invite people to come to their offices and play the game, and then they can take the footage back with them.
Right.
They do the same thing with most of the Assassin's Creeds, pretty much all the Far Cries, and they also did it with the newer games they showed at E3, which was that the new Ghost Recon and the other Tom Clancy-ish one that's looks kind of good, but it's actually shit. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called.
Can I just say, fucking Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
I mean, only EA and Ubisoft would pull this shit.
Yeah, but and that's the problem, that they actually invite people to play under their own conditions. They have to sign a release so they can only do certain things and show certain stuff.
Yeah.
And they have to play it on their equipment, and then they can
Thing
take
is
the
that-
footage back with them.
Yeah, they can basically delete any footage that they don't like or any
Well,
audio
yeah,
that they don't like. So if someone says something
Or they
something
catch
bad
bug.
about the game, or they see a bug, exactly.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing is not the game itself. You're seeing a cut down, watered down version of the game.
It's not even it's not even that, because they watch them play and they check for bugs and whatever, but they also treat them like kings. So they'll bring them in and they'll fucking here's some food, here's some
Wine and
drinks,
dine 'em.
they'll treat them. So when they come back, you're already kind of tainted because they've given you this really nice time and sent you over and put you up and you've had lunches and fucking booze and all this stuff. So they sort of
Keegz,
they twist it against you.
That's what we aspire to. Don't knock.
I know. I'd totally go do that.
That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, I'd totally go do that. If they want to try and buy me in booze, they can fucking try. But I will probably put them out of business. But yeah, I'd like.
Keegz drinks a lot of booze.
I'd still come back and just tell it how it is. And if they didn't invite me next time, then fuck, they didn't invite me next time. But the problem is that you have to sort of say that because you already have that bias.
It depends.
because
I
they
reckon
treat
that
you
depends
so well.
entirely on how much booze they boozed you with.
Yeah,
I reckon if they boozed you enough, you'd be like, "Fuck it, I'll come back again."
yeah, but yeah,
I'll say nice
but that's
things
the
about
other
their
thing,
game,
though,
so
is it's
Fill me full of
you
expensive
have-
scotch.
You have to inform your audience about that, though. You have to say, it's like, hey, look,
Yeah.
this may be biased because they fucking put me up and fed me all this stuff
Because
and
I'm
got me really
tanked.
drunk. So yeah, well, it's not even that. It's just that when you just have to say, like, this could, like, whether it is or not, this may be biased. You need to say, or you need to think about that they've done all this for me.
Mm-hmm.
So my opinion could be biased, whether I even realize I'm being biased or not.
But where does the bias end? Like, let's imagine a scenario where I was a famous YouTuber, like, let's say someone like Markiplier, or probably less than Markiplier, say something like Total Biscuit. Say I get sent a game, pre-release game,
Ouch.
for free, so I don't have to obviously have to pay for it. They just send me a
Yeah.
Steam key, and I play the game. I like it, do a review, video review, post up online, make money. Now, is it biased because they sent me a free game, or is there no bias in that, or is it only bias when they go further than that and obviously wine you and dine you and buy you stuff, like send you merch, maybe, I don't know, something like that.
I've thought about this before, and in my honest opinion, for it to be 100% non-biased, you have to buy the game and play it.
Yep.
Because, and that is
How did that work?
100%. That is 100% non-biased.
Yep.
But like, because even when we played Rogue State, like, I got that for free, and the only reason I played it is because I got it for free. So there was already a bias on us playing it.
Is it biased because
We had a
played
wonderful
it, though?
day playing that.
Hey.
Fotis was completely non-biased.
we really
He-
did. It was
he
fantastic.
He didn't
Well,
pay for any of that. He just turned
Please,
up.
I
send
mean-
more free games.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not bias of we're playing it, but there's already a bias because I got it for free. And if I had not got it for free, I wouldn't have played it.
I mean, is that
Like,
bias?
there's no way I would have.
Or is it
There's
opportunity?
no way. there's no way I would have gone onto Steam, seen that game, and gone, "Hey, I'll pay $6 for that and play it." That's where the bias is. Is that
is that bias, though?
I hadn't bought it. It had been given to me. I'd never seen it before. They had given it to me for free, and that's where I said, "Yeah, it looks okay. It's free. I'll give it a go."
Yeah, but
that's a bias.
But in order for you to be biased, that would require you to have some sort of pleasant feelings towards the people that gave it to you, and I don't think you were capable of that.
Yeah, but it's still a free game.
You specifically are not capable of having feelings.
Yeah, it's true. But it's still a free game. That's why when we started, that's why I said, look, just being open, this is a free game. It's been given to me by a publisher, so don't take too much what I'm saying, but like
take it with a
whether it's
grain of
good or
salt.
bad. Don't take.
Keep in mind.
take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think we were particularly biased towards one direction or the other with that game, because it wasn't a great game. We told everybody.
We played it for a lot longer than I thought I was going to play it, to be honest.
Did you play it for a lot longer because it was a good game, or did you play it for a lot longer because it just lasted a lot longer than you thought it was going to?
By the time we finished, I was actually enjoying it, though. It was actually kind of interesting. I wanted to see the end game.
Didn't we fail at the end, though, and then we just gave up?
You didn't fail.
We weren't really failing. We just got bored.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck it, let's try and get into nuclear war.
Yeah. You were kind of grinding through a whole heap of crap. Like, you're on a slow descent, and it's like, well, let's finish this now. It'll, last Hail Mary pass to see if this is going to work.
It wasn't really descent. We're actually doing okay. It's just the problem was that it was going to take ages to push it through. So like, fuck it, let's go to war.
Mm-hmm. And you got your ass
just started
kicked
battling.
Out, so.
Yeah, and then we
became North Korea.
Yeah. But yeah. But
what you gonna do?
I think there's never truly no bias unless you buy the game yourself and play it. But in the same respect, I can understand that people like Total Biscuit, whatever, they get sent hundreds and hundreds of games, have to filter through and decide what games they want to play. So that might take a little bit of the bias.
But if you're getting sent...
The thing is,
if you're getting sent hundreds and hundreds of games, then you've got absolutely no reason to be biased for whatever game you're playing. You're being sent hundreds and hundreds of games. You can be mean about it, and no one will care.
When people are sending you that amount of games, it becomes a sea of noise. And I happen to know that Total Biscuit actually has a person to sort through all that crap for him. He has a guy that goes through.
Oh, he's got a man for that.
He's got a man for that. Yes.
Of course, he fucking does.
And his name's Christian, because I was actually watching their stream today.
Yeah.
But,
so he actually filters out all the crap and decides. Not decides.
I bet PewDiePie's got a team for that.
No, he says it's one guy.
I think PewDiePie does his own stuff, but I know that Total Biscuit doesn't take gifts or anything like that anymore from developers. He did say a big thing about that there's been developers in the past that he's done a review for them and they've sent him a gift for reviewing it, and he's well, yeah,
not
and
a
he's
gift.
Like, well, now
you didn't send him a gift.
I thought they were sending him short videos of cats or something.
Yes. But after that, he said, well, now I can't review any of your other games because now it's going to be biased because you sent me a gift.
Should have sent it back.
It's very difficult to remain non-biased in anything you do throughout your entire life. So maybe don't worry about it.
But in that spotlight, if he for what he's trying to be the voice of equality gaming. If he accepts one of those gifts or gets a gift, even if he didn't want it, and somebody finds out, they're like, hey, well, this developer sent you a gift. How can we fucking believe what you say about their next game? And that sort of fucks him over.
Especially in his particular case, because he's built his reputation on being impartial and critical, being a critic. So more so than someone like Markiplier or PewDiePie.
Yeah, well, it's like Markiplier and PewDiePie are entertainers; they're not critics.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the only two real critics I trust.
And I would argue about the entertainment part.
But the only two critics I trust is Jim Sterling and Total Biscuit. There are a couple others, but I don't listen to them that much.
Jim Sterling, I trust. I trust his opinion, but the problem he has is that he focuses a lot on really shitty games, and that's where the entertainment value of his channel comes from. I mean, if you're constantly reviewing shit, then you're not really being a critical.
He's on the other end of the spectrum. Total Biscuit is trying to keep he's trying to keep the AAAs in check because they're either fucking people over or not bringing what they should be, like 60 FPS like Batman Arkham Asylum, and a waste of time on the review. Where Jim Sterling, his real mission is to get rid of the shit people are posting on Greenlight, because he focuses more on the bottom end of the gaming where new developers are coming out, but he's picking on developers that are just extorting people, the ones like Digital Homicide and that are just pumping out pieces of shit and charging for it.
Yeah.
So they're sort of I guess they're on each end, and the two ends of a candle burning slowly to the center, and
the yin and the yang.
Something, yeah.
The two sides of the coin.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really focus on the same things. Jim Sterling does do a couple of AAA games, but not.
Yeah, he's mostly
not as much as TB does.
Yeah.
He's mostly about just keeping the fucking cesspool in Greenlight down.
I kind of see Jim Sterling though, because I've occasionally watched his podcast where he dresses up like a sort of a neo-Nazi and does his bit to camera.
His
sort of like
his Jimquisition.
His Jimquisition stuff. I put him more to the entertainer end of the spectrum than the critical reviewer. Not to say his opinion isn't valid, but he entertains a lot more than say Total Biscuit, who's a lot drier in his content, and a lot more factual.
He kind of has to though in his Jimquisition, because the Jimquisition is Patreon. So he is being paid to make those, so he's got to meet whatever standard he's set, which is mostly entertainment as well as factual. Whereas his sort of squirty plays and his Steam Greenlight trailer videos and stuff like that are all just critiques. And then he has his website where, because he used to work for the Escapist. It wasn't PC Gamer. It was either the Escapist or.
I do remember saying reading.
It was one of those. Yeah, it was one of those. But he used to work for one of those media outlets, and now he just has his own website and he does his own reviews, like written reviews, which are really good. He's a really good writer. But he's sort of moved more into the visual media now. But he's worth watching. He's weird. He's very fucking weird. You have to sort of take a little bit, and he's extremely critical about certain things. Like if something is shit, he will very quickly tell you how shit it is.
I guess so. Yes, you're right. He did write for the Escapist, and I think he was. Is that part of Destructoid?
That's the other one.
Yep.
Yeah, Rose. Rose just got onto that.
Yeah. We should have Rose on. I think she knows more about it than we do.
Yeah, she's well up into all this.
Yeah, she's on the ball. Okay, so shall we move on?
Yes,
please.
10 million copies of Gary's Mod have been sold over the 2015-2016 transition period. Not much info other than that.
And I can see why.
10 million copies. I mean, how many hours have you sunk into Gary's Mod photos?
Hang on, I can tell you. In the first probably 3 weeks after I got it, I played every spare hour I had on Gary's Mod. It was amazing.
So Gary's Mod is $10 US. Let's assume, just for the sake of the argument, that it's always been $10 US. I think it's actually been more than that, but occasionally it'll be less on stale. So $10 US times 10 million. You don't need to be
100 million.
You don't need to be in a mental calculator.
Hang on, I'll get the calculator.
$100 million. And if let's assume you only got
the lab.
Let's assume you only get half of that via Steam. I think you get more, but let's assume you only get half after taxes and stuff. That's $50 million that Gary must have sitting away somewhere.
I wonder if he's married.
Photos would turn for him.
He is now.
50 million.
Hey, $50 million.
He'd take one in the.
They've actually got a new. There's a new game mode.
I'd be a given or a receiver. Come on.
So, what were you saying, Keegz?
So there's a new game mode that's become popular in Gary's Mod. We should give a go.
What is it?
It's called Guess Who.
Guess Who? Is that like the
How does that
game,
work?
like the board game Guess Who?
No, well, no, it's just the same name. You
Sad.
Do I look
it's
like a
kind
bitch?
of like prop hunt.
Right.
So you have two people who
Yeah.
are, or how many people who are hunters, and then the other people are hiders, and you start the map, and there's just a bunch of NPCs just walking around, sitting, moving, just doing random
yeah, I've
things.
seen that.
And the people who are hiding are also NPCs. You can change your character. If you walk up to another NPC, you can become them, and you've just got to walk around and pretend you're an NPC.
Mm-hmm.
And the other hunters have got to figure out who isn't an NPC and who is.
I have seen
Who's
that.
who's a player.
Yeah, I've seen something like that.
It looks pretty cool.
It's kind of like the ship.
Yeah, kind
no.
of. Not very
Really?
much like the ship, but
No?
okay, a
Okay.
little bit like it.
No. It's more like
Fair
that armor
It'll be-
game where where you spawn and you have to try and blend in with the other NPCs and the other team has to try and shoot you. I think we played it
You
once.
hate-
Oh yes, we did play that once. That's what I was actually thinking of, not the actual
Yeah.
Gary's mod thing. We didn't do very well.
It's
in that,
it's basically the same. It's basically the same thing, except this is more. There's more movement, and there's like a whole map, and NPCs sort of walk around and interact and sit down and just do really NPC things. So you've had to try and blend in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it's a lot like that other game that's I don't even actually think it's come out yet. It's called Spy Party, where one person's a sniper and they're looking at a party.
Yes.
Yeah, and the other person's a spy, and they have to try and do certain goals and blend in with the party.
That actually looks quite fun. We should give that a go.
It does. Yeah, we should give that a go.
I saw
I
a
actually
video for
tried
that,
to
like,
find.
12 months ago.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
been out.
It's been
Or
around
it's
a
been
while.
around for about 2 years, but they've sort of done it properly. I was actually trying to see if I could find like an alpha or something, but I think it's closed. So it's only for certain people. Must
Early
have been
access.
backed ages
What?
ago.
What do you mean
I think it
early
must have
access
been
for
backed
2
ages
fucking
ago.
years? That's crazy.
Well, it wasn't even early access. It was just certain people. It was only for backers.
Oh, it's Kickstarter.
That's early
I don't
access.
know. I think so, but I think it might have even been a Kickstarter thing before Kickstarter.
If you're accessing it early,
It's early access.
by definition,
Oh, actually, there you go. You got to go to the website and pay for it.
What?
oh my god, it's
Can't
not
we
on
buy it on-
Steam.
Can't we buy it on Steam?
Yeah.
Can we buy a Steam key at least?
$15, $15.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it's like $400 dues.
yeah. $400 dues.
I was actually surprised to find out that Rust was also made by Facepunch Studios and is in early access still. A company
It's not finished yet.
that Gary.
No, look at the fucking game. It's shit.
What? We had an awesome time.
We had
It's horrible.
We had
I
a middle-
captured a man and kept him in my house.
We had a
It was
middling time.
amazing.
He made cat noises.
He
like
meowed the whole fucking
that.
time.
Yes, he did.
I know, it was brilliant.
And
then I got
wasn't there
vac
to
banned.
Just do any old. Yes, you did get back.
Yeah, that was good.
I laughed at that.
Happy days.
But the reason I bring up Rust is that Gary from Gary's Mod is the guy that runs owns Facepunch Studios. I presume that's what he did with his $50 million.
Really?
Same guy.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that until I
Made a
was
shitty Rust game.
doing research on this particular topic, and now I know.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
No, I'm a big fan of Gary's Mod. There's so many different mods for Gary's Mod.
Mods for mods.
I think, yeah, in the first
Mods
month or so that I had it, I played like 200 hours, 250 hours.
the only thing
Yeah,
I think
I
I've-
like Gary's Mod.
A lot of your spare time.
I think the only thing
More
I've
time than I
done
spent at work.
in Gary's Mod is dicking around in that one map that has like the little sort of hut thing in the water and the big just open area, and we just sat there and built things.
Oh, just a sandbox mode.
yeah, the sandbox mode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I built a bunch of stuff. Like, I was learning about...
Physics.
yeah, like AND gates. Like AND gates,
Mhm.
OR gates, and all sorts of stuff.
NAND.
A lot of it, electronic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All stuff you
Which
can
is
do in
very cool.
Minecraft.
You can now, yeah.
Mm.
But at the time...
I haven't even fired up Minecraft in fucking ages. I had a world. In
it's
fact,
'cause
it's
it's
probably
full of-
still sitting on my server. Hang on. See if it's still running.
It's full of kiddies now.
It's not running, but it's. Let's see if it's still there.
That's the 12-year-old demographic that PewDiePie is aiming for.
Well, we had a lot of fun in it. We built a lot.
Everyone playing Minecraft.
Of
I don't know. I've seen some Minecraft videos of people making like working computers and shit. Like that's pretty.
And that's all very cool and stuff, but it's not a fun game to play with your friends anymore.
Minecraft.
Maybe.
Not really.
We give it a go, I guess.
Built a lot of shit on my server.
It's all different now, though. There's like villages and NPCs and fucking XP and stuff like that. It's all weird now.
Yeah, a lot of that was in there last time I played it.
We pretty much had it running in like kind of like sandbox mode, but with monsters enabled.
Last time I played it would have been like 7 years ago.
7? Jesus, I don't think it was out 7 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time. It was a fucking long time ago. Yeah.
I remember digging my first hole.
I can't remember.
I remember
trying to survive
burying
overnight.
myself.
I'm gonna look up
Okay,
Minecraft.
I do.
I remember accidentally
there.
setting fire to my hut.
Keegz, you're pulling my fucking leg. It was released May 17th, 2009, which is less than 7 years ago.
6 years ago.
Alright, 6 years ago.
6 years ago. So
I played it when it first came out.
You played it on
and
release, did you?
I think I played it. Yeah, I did. I played it when it was still on the website and still in.
Oh,
Yeah, we were-
I played it.
Browser
We were there
mode.
pretty early on.
I was there early-ish on, not very early on. Like, I played it maybe.
No, we were pretty early on, considering where it's
I
ended
played
up
it-
there early on.
I played it when it was still a little Java thing in the browser, and then I think I played it a couple of years later, and then I never played it again.
Well, let me put it this way. I joined Shack in 2012, and I first heard about it when one of the guys was talking about it, and then I researched it later. So I didn't play it any earlier than 2012. It's only 3 years
it
ago.
was when me and
Well, in that
you were
case,
living
I
together,
played it
Pete.
much before you did.
Yeah,
I was
I
sure
played
you
it
were
when
there.
we
I
were.
was sure you showed it to me.
I probably did. It was probably only 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
well, yeah,
No, it would have been more than 3 years ago.
I played it when we were living together, Pete. When we were living at the end of the street.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? Yeah, no,
And that
it
would have
7
been-
years ago. That would have been 4 years ago.
See.
It's more than that. Because I lived
5
in
years.
I
Within
lived
5
in that
years ago.
house for 4 years, and
Yeah,
I've been
within
here for
5.
1 year.
It would have been 5 years ago because it was before my son was born.
Yes. Remember, you moved out because your son was being
Fuck,
born.
it must have been 6 years. It would have been 6 years ago then because he's 5 this year.
Yeah, which was
It 5 next
2009.
month.
When
Yeah,
it came
so
out.
I was right. I was right. Yay.
Yeah. No, you said 7.
Well, but because I remember you saying that Mark introduced you to it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was definitely in
Yeah.
2009 because we were living together.
Total.
Toto!
Suck it, Xenon.
You can't even spell your fucking name.
Can't even spell my fucking name.
Can't even
right.
spell your name. Keegl.
Kegel.
God damn it, Total. I'm in the fucking TeamSpeak.
Look at the name, man.
You should jump in, Total, and tell us your opinions.
He's not even in bloody.
Can he jump in?
Yeah.
He's not even in TeamSpeak.
He can if he comes back on TeamSpeak.
No, he's not in
he's not.
TeamSpeak.
He's not in TeamSpeak.
He's probably back.
Maybe
at
he'll
home
jump
now.
on.
Maybe he will.
It's got to
Half-Life
be like 1 in the
Half-Life
morning
2
over there, though.
Writer Mark Laidlaw
Ah,
has
maybe
left
12.
Valve. Who knows?
Who?
Mark
Who?
Laidlaw. He was the writer who wrote the story for Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2. He's worked
Oh,
for Valve
right.
for about 18 years.
Ah, yeah.
Didn't he leave a while ago?
Oh, yeah, I was reading about this today. They're saying that because he's left, apparently Half-Life 3 will no longer be written as if it was somehow being written before.
I don't think that's... No, I mean, if they really wanted to make Half-Life, they could do it without him.
But a lot of the rumours are that since Mark Laidlaw has left Valve,
Mhm.
one of the main writers for all that sort of stuff, he's that clearly Half-Life 3 is never going to be a thing because they're laying off all the Half-Life writers.
Well, there's only one
I
writer,
actually
we'll see.
remember he did an AMA on Reddit a couple of years ago.
Well, I was correct then. All of the Half-Life writers. All of the Half-Life
yes,
writer.
you are correct.
I remember he did an AMA on Reddit a while ago about it, and obviously everybody's asking about Half-Life 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he pretty much debunked it, saying it's never going to happen because, one, they could never live up to what everybody wants. And to there's no reason for them to continue that series.
They're still coining it on Half-Life 2.
Ended on a cliffhanger. I reckon that they'll make it. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
I'm iffy now. I used to think they would. Now I don't think they will anymore because
They will be in our 70s, and they'll be kickstarting a bloody.
The problem is no matter what they brought
Half-Life
out,
3.
no matter what they brought out, it wouldn't be enough. No matter what they did, it would never be enough.
I don't know. Like they dug their own grave with this.
Always leave them wanting more.
Yes,
Yeah.
I suppose so. But I mean, they have the tech. I mean, I think they have the technology. They have the people. They have the money to make it.
They have the technology.
We have the technology.
Well, they've already
They're
brought
going to
out
make
the
it
new
completely
engine.
VR.
They're just. Yeah, I mean,
Well,
yes, they are waiting for the next big
well-
thing in order to sell it, to make it.
Well,
to go.
if anybody watched CES with Vive, then there was already a hint
Was it?
during that.
What was it?
Yes,
Bum, bum,
it was
bum.
a new Portal coming out with the Vive headset.
Oh, new Portal.
Woo.
Yeah, I'm not that enthusiastic about Portal. Portal was okay.
Really, I love Portal. Portal was fucking amazing.
Yeah, Portal was cool, but it just doesn't get me that.
Portal
excited.
in VR, it'd be fucking awesome.
That'd make you sick.
You'd end up throwing up on your keyboard.
I definitely
Worth it.
would.
Well,
Half-Life,
but
you
it'd be different though because you're with the Vive, so you're actually walking around in the room. So
Yeah, in your lounge room, because I don't have the room for that shit.
yeah, I'll put it out in the shed.
walking around.
We'd have to
In
clear
your
all the
shed.
couches out of it.
Yeah, that's fine. Heaps of room.
tripping over your shed.
Let's throw them out. Throw them outside. Fucking make heaps of room. Make it the Portal den. We can all play Portal 3.
Hello, George Williams. Yes, you
That's
are
all.
way late. You're only an hour and 8 minutes late. Well done.
We've been going for an hour already.
An hour and 8
Yeah.
minutes. Well, actually, probably not an hour. Probably more
We're
than an
still
hour.
only doing the headlines. I need another drink.
Well,
I need to urinate. So
well,
Yeah.
I shall hold down the fort.
Xenon, you're on your own.
That sounds very much like I am.
I'll wait till Pete gets back and talk with
Okay.
you about whatever
I'll try and be
while I
quick.
clutch my bladder.
Well, don't clutch your bladder. You make it worse. You don't squeeze your bladder when you die
Yeah.
for a piss. That's a rookie mistake.
But yes,
I could play some
Portal 3. It's
intermission music if you like.
on the way. So you can do if you want.
Hang on. Well, you won't be able to hear it, but the people in the thing will. If I can find the
I
fucking
hear
thing.
beeping.
That's my phone. Alright, here we go. Intermission music.
We should start adding intermissions.
We kinda should.
do stuff.
Shouldn't we?
Co-option does it.
They do. I do wonder why they do that.
I can understand because they're going for 3 hours.
Well, we go for... No, well, when they go for
Oh.
more than 3 hours, I think is the thing. Like, we go for 2 hours, maybe.
Did you watch the Co-option Lounge today?
No. I was watching the Cooptional podcast
But-
from the 7th, but that's...
They played Secret Hitler on Tabletop Simulator. We should definitely play that. It
I
looks
saw him
fucking
posting
awesome.
that he was going to play it, but I was out and about, so I couldn't play it. I couldn't watch.
It was pretty cool. We should
What is
play
Secret Hitler?
It's basically like Town of Salem
Oh, right.
and Mafia, where you have like depending on how many people you're playing with, some people are fascist, one person's Hitler, everybody else are liberals, and you have to try and put through policies, and whoever gets the most policies wins. And if the fascist gets so many policies, then you can pick a bullet, and when you get in control of the bullet, you have to try and decide who is a fascist or who is Hitler and try and kill them. Yeah. Before either the fascist policies get through or the liberals are killed, or stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's very backstabby, very lie, very manipulative. It's
Right.
pretty cool.
Oh, that sounds interesting. We should have a go at that on... Is it free?
Yeah.
Is it free to play or do you have to pay for it?
Yeah. Well, it was just on that tabletop simulator. You just download the DLC for it.
Oh.
Because they're actually using that as advertisement for their real life version they're doing on Kickstarter. So they put it out on as a DLC on Tabletop Simulator to try and like get people to see what the game is, and maybe they'll back it on Kickstarter.
Okay.
Yes, it's Todd. I'll play. Actually, Todd, you'd be brilliant at this game, Secret Hitler. It'd be hilarious.
What are we talking about?
Secret
Oh, that's
Hitler.
impeccable timing. The intermission music just finished playing.
Good. I'm gonna go pee.
Oh, good.
Oh, time for the intermission music.
Oh,
You can't
are we
hear it, but it's
actually
playing in
still
the
live?
background now. It's that music from Top Gear when they do like, well, you probably don't know. It's the Top Gear intermission
Maybe.
music.
I
It's
don't know what
called.
you're talking
I think it's just called. It's called Left Bank 2 or something like that, or the novel tones.
Oh, what is it?
It's basically
It's,
like it sounds like elevator music. It sounds almost exactly like elevator music.
No,
No, it goes do 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 do
Fair enough. So, can nobody hear us right now?
everyone can hear us. It's just I've got this going in the background.
Ah,
I've used it in a couple
Let's
of my
not talk
videos.
oh, okay.
It's basically it's the music I would play when
I was going to say we shouldn't say horrible things about Keegling because you can hear it later.
Yeah. Oh, we can say about him anyway. Fuck him.
To be fair, we'd probably say it when he was here.
Yeah, so we'll wait till he comes back and then say it. Games predictable and similar as COD can sell millions of copies every time a new one comes out. I think a series well-known and loves Half-Life would be still have amazing sales. Yes, I think George is correct. If they released Half-Life 3, regardless of how shit it was, it would sell it'd sell in the millions.
Yeah.
It'd be the fastest selling game ever.
Steam would be selling $3.5 billion worth of just Half-Life
They
3.
would probably crash the Steam servers, robust as they are. They would. I'm pretty sure they'd crash.
Because I've never met anyone who doesn't like Half-Life.
It's pretty universally loved. Like it's pretty hard to hate that series.
And it's only got to be a good story. There's plenty of people who can write a good story.
Like Mark Laidlaw. Oh wait,
Ooh,
burn.
not anymore. Maybe he's left to make Hearth Strife 3 or something.
Full life.
Maybe. Who knows?
3/4 life.
Full life.
It's completion of life. Half life. It's called full life.
No, the completion of life is when you die. That's not. That doesn't make a good game.
3/4 life.
Big. What are we talking about? What did I miss?
We're still talking about Half-Life 3.
We're talking about Path Strife 3.
Yes, past drive. Okay, so shall we move on to our main topics of discussion?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Winding it up, I shall take a
yes,
swig
right.
of my tasty beverage.
I brought mine with me this time.
Here we go.
This time.
Speaking of
Yeah,
Steam,
sorry, I've had quite a lot to drink.
Steam had a massive fuck up on Christmas. Was it Christmas Day they had to fuck up? I'm pretty sure it was Christmas Day. Let's call it Christmas Day.
Yeah, it was over the sale.
On December 25th, a configuration error resulted in some users seeing Steam store pages generated for other users. Between 1150 PST and 1320 PST, store page requests for about 34,000 users, which contain sensitive personal information, may have been returned and seen by other users. What that means is about 34,000 people were seeing the wrong cached pages, and the reason they were seeing the wrong ones is because Steam was actually hit by a DDoS attack. Organised by
Goddamn Lizard Squad.
Let's say Lizard Squad. And what happens when Steam is hit by a DDoS attack? They have caching servers all over the world, which basically cache information that doesn't change very often. So one of the caching servers, or perhaps a few of I think it was one of the caching servers, had an incorrect configuration, so that when user IDs were passed to the caching server, it was returning the wrong details. So if you logged on with a page, like went to the store page and went to look something up or went to make a purchase, it would send you back a cached page with your info on it, but you were getting the wrong page. Only lasted about an hour and a half, and about 34,000 people. 34,000 people were affected. So one of the problems with this was that some of the pages included a Steam user's billing address, like an actual home address. The last 4 digits of their Steam Guard phone number, which is whatever phone number you've got on file. Your purchase history,
On your phone.
2 digits of your credit card, and your email address. So it didn't include stuff like
None of
full
which
credit
is
card.
useful without the rest of the information.
That's true.
Well,
But it, I think Total Biscuit pretty much summed this up pretty well. He actually did a whole podcast, 27 minutes he sat there and talked about this. The problem with this is that information like this, like your home address, can be used for swatting. And it's generally collected by people who
But
collect
it wasn't
this sort of
your
thing.
entire home address, though, was it?
Yes, it was your entire
Yeah.
address. Like your
Really?
your street address, your
Yeah.
your
The-
postcode, everything.
They gave you all of your details. You could not complete the purchase, so you couldn't actually use
That's
their
right.
whatever monetary they were using, whether it was credit card or whatever. But it did give you all of their details, and that was the problem. And like Total Biscuit said, it's not such an issue for the general Joe Blow, but for people who are
Harvesting.
Well known.
Harvesting details. essentially.
Yeah, for internet celebrities, it was quite a big issue because they could be, they could
Swatted
they could
was
be
the
swatted.
biggest issue. As people find out their
Or
home
they could
address.
be
Well,
doxxed.
they
or,
could- They could try and swat me, but I can guarantee that the Bridgewater police are not that interested in coming to see me.
yeah, that's right.
Plus, we don't have a SWAT team. You get one cop to
We
turn up
have
at your
swag.
door, knocking on the door, going, "Are
Yeah.
you alright there?"
Oi! Officer Plod would rock up.
Awesome, blonde. Yeah. So
All his
yeah.
lucky friends.
What else are we gonna?
And then he'll take you home again.
To give you some information about the DOS attack,
Give
the
you a
DDoS
sixpence
attack.
and he'll take you home again.
It happened on Christmas Day, and traffic to the Steam store increased by over 2,000%, which is a fair old amount.
Really?
It did.
So
Oh,
I
this
think
might
it
have
was
been a
Steam
hoax.
during Christmas.
because of the DDoS attack.
Steam made this up to get more traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, more garbage traffic. I'm sure they love that, and that's what activated this this caching.
Your
caching
account could
business.
be in jeopardy. Quick, log in.
Well, I think one of the best. Well, actually, one of the interesting things to come out of this was that it only affected people who actually logged in. Like, if you didn't go to the store, the Steam store page, it didn't affect you. Like, your cached information wouldn't be sent because you hadn't logged in to check anything. If you logged in to check out and see what was happening, your details were then in the pool of cached information that would
Yeah, but
randomly be handed
like
out.
Rose said, it took 5 days before Valve announced what had happened.
Yeah.
So when I finally found out about it, I thought, oh, maybe I better not log into Steam. But that was 5 days ago. A very good chance I
what's
logged into
even-
Steam 5 days ago.
What's even worse is that it took them 2 weeks to apologise.
Did they really apologise?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did in the end. It took them a fucking long time, but they did in the end.
They kind of didn't though. Like, there's no "I'm sorry" in there. I do
Backhanded
a
apology?
search for.
No, I'm pretty sure they did because even during TB's talk about it, that at this moment they hadn't apologised. And then I was listening to Jim Sterling's podcast, and they were talking about it as well. And halfway through them talking about it, they said, "Oh wait, actually, big news! They finally apologised, but they did it on Kotaku. They didn't do it on their own website."
Oh, there it is. We apologise to everyone whose personal information was exposed by this error and interruption of Steam store service. That's
Spit it out. Fuck.
yeah. I ran out of breath right at the end. That is technically an apology. I mean, A, it's not enough, and B, it's barely an apology
It
because
said,
Oh, it's
we
definitely
apologise
not enough.
is an apology.
I guess so.
It's not a heartfelt apology.
No, it's not.
It's a corporate apology.
That was very much a PR apology. Carefully.
It's also
crafted.
ridiculous for a company who just sold $3.5 billion worth of games to have this sort of fucking issue. Like, this is
Yeah.
the
I'm
sort
guessing
of
that
turnover.
they hope they could
this
keep it
is
on the
sort of-
down low.
This is the sort of turnover like small bank branches are making, and yet if something happened in a bank branch, they would be fucking straight on that. Whereas Steam,
I
like,
don't think it's
"Eh."
a small bank branch thing. I think it's quite a large bank branch
3.5
thing.
billion. Yeah, it's a fair amount of money to go through. A
Billion.
bank.
Well, I didn't want to overstate it, but whatever. But yes, for any other company who was making a turnover of $3.5 billion, they would probably be pretty quick on the PR of security about something like this.
Yeah.
It was on Christmas Day. I mean, that's their only real defence, I think.
That doesn't fucking make any difference.
Well,
if
they're
going to be,
we didn't turn up
if
until
they're
after
gonna-
New Year's.
well, then they should have fucking shut it on Christmas Day if they're not going to look after it.
Nobody was at the office. There was nobody standing there.
They
with a big
don't-
If
red
you're
button
going to be open,
plonk.
if you're going to be
Everyone was
open
still
Christmas
pissed.
Day and turning over money, you want some goddamn security there.
No, they just locked the doors and then left and fucked off till New Year's Day.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
it's like they'll deal with it themselves. It'll be fine.
Like, fuck it, we'll worry about it in the new year. That's 2016's problem. That's future Val's problem.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
what's
it. That's the way it
34,000 people? What's 34,000 people over 3.5 billion?
Having said that, they had it
1%.
fixed in an hour and a half.
Well, yeah, but they didn't apologise for 2x.
No, that's true. I mean, if we're talking purely in
And that's what everybody's focusing
in
on.
apologies, yes.
Yeah.
They I mean,
It
this
should be.
could've-
Steam support is fucking terrible.
It is terrible. I mean, there's no defending, leaving it for 2 weeks or a week or however long it fucking took. Yeah. I mean, I'm the biggest, staunchest defender of Steam, but you can't. The PR they have and the support they have is pretty fucking abysmal.
It's pretty bad.
So having said that,
Rant.
it was 34,000 people, which is a lot of people, but not a lot of people when you consider the entirety
In
of
the
Valve.
pool of millions.
Of 1 billion people.
Like, yeah, 10 million people bought Garry's Mod, so
That's true, yes.
Exactly.
34,000 of them had their account details spread across the internet.
Who's buying Gary's Mod on Christmas Day? What the fuck are you doing, people?
It was probably on special.
Christmas. Presents.
Christmas, but
Yeah,
who
they're probably
buys it
gifting it to
on
them.
Christmas Day? It's like, oh shit, I forgot to buy my
You can
partner
play-
a present.
so you
Better
can
buy the
play
fucking
Someone who's
Goddamn-
poorly organised. You know what? I'll just get him
If-
Gary's
if-
Mod.
If there was any game that I was going to play on Christmas, it'd be Garry's Mod, and I'd play the sled build race thing.
Yeah, hell yeah. That'd be awesome.
Rose makes a fair point. It actually wasn't Valve's
Although-
fuck up. It was one of their partner caching companies whom they pay to cache their data and had an incorrect configuration which caused this fuck up. So it's actually not Valve's fuck up. It's actually their partner.
It's still
very
Valve's
much
fuck up.
like-
It's still
it
it's
sounds
still
very much like
fucking
Valve's cover-up.
Valve's fault.
I understand.
Still
Valve
Valve's fault.
are the one that everyone knows.
They are turning over $3.5 billion a year, and they can't defend themselves from a DDoS on Christmas.
Well, they did defend themselves
If
from
you-
DDoS on
if-
Christmas. They employed caching, which was fucked because their partner company had fucked up the configuration.
Which made it worse. Yeah.
well, they had
I mean,
yes.
yeah. So the site wasn't taken down, but people's identities were put at risk. That's not good enough. That is not good enough.
No, it's
And
absolutely.
how
not.
many do you think they actually defended on Christmas Day? Probably a lot. One happened to get through, and it was a shit one.
That they defended themselves from DDoS. They kept the site open, but while doing that, they risked 34,000 people's accounts.
No, I'm not talking about that specific instance. I'm talking about the millions of instances where it happens all fucking day, every day, because there are people out there who hate Valve. So one happened to get through. Yes, it sucks, and for a lot of people, it's going to cause some problems.
Well, they don't have a. I mean, they
In
don't
the
have-
grand scheme of things, it's not the worst thing that could have happened, is it?
Valve. I still don't defend Valve on their way of dealing with people's issues. They just don't have the support they should have for a big company like this.
I think there's two points to be made here. The first is that I defend Valve in so far as it wasn't their fuck up. You know, hang on. Sorry. It wasn't their fuck up. Like they did not make the mistake here. It was the
Where's
company.
your cough button?
Yeah, I know. It wasn't their mistake. It was their partner company who they pay, and they fucked up with their configuration error, which then showed information that really shouldn't have. But they were on it within an hour and a half. And this was all because of a DDoS. So someone was essentially trying to take them down. However, you cannot defend their silence on the matter and you can't defend their lack of support and lack of information for days afterwards. I mean, they should have been on Twitter and on Facebook and whatever other social medias they have, saying this is what's happened. You know, we apologise. More information as it comes to hand. They should have been on that within an hour or hours.
The accounts that were jeopardised should have been told straight away.
Well, that too.
That's one of the big issues too.
Yeah,
is that they took too long to tell people. I mean, they said, "Look, this has happened. 34,000 accounts have been jeopardised." Yada yada yada. And then it was a couple of days later they said, "We will be sending emails out to the people whose accounts may be jeopardised." And I'd want to know pretty quickly if people know my personal address.
Yeah, yeah, and that's exactly. I'm no argument from me here. The only caveat to that I would say is that it was Christmas Day and probably not very many people there.
So it doesn't matter.
Something like this, I would probably leave home to get organised, but it was too. I mean, they were too slow.
That's very much a consumer view, Reese. That's a consumer.
Exactly, because I'm a fucking consumer. I'm putting my money into this company and trusting them with my information.
Keegz gives them all his e-dollars.
Very much a consumer view.
All his dollary doos.
Yeah, I mean, if they can't protect themselves over Christmas, then they should shut down over Christmas. Or if nobody's going to be there over Christmas, then fucking turn it off over Christmas.
Could you imagine the outrage of turning Steam off over Christmas?
Yeah, exactly. So then they should fucking treat it like every other year.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to have more fucking people doing support, really. That's the... I'm just imagining this.
They've only just began support. They've only just started hiring people and training them for support. This is how long it's taken. It's ridiculous.
Kind of. I mean,
I've never had to deal with the support, so I don't really...
They're heading in the right direction, but
there isn't any. I'll tell you right now, there fucking isn't any. You'll send them an email, they might email you back 3 weeks later, and it won't be any help.
The worst part is you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, you can't. There's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to go to. You can email them as many fucking times as you want, and nobody's going to email you back.
It's not like you can go to the ACCC
even
and be
there,
fucking Valve didn't reply to my emails. This shit doesn't work. It's like, no, you're fucked.
Well, you say that.
They've just started training this team for support. It's only just started in the last couple of months. Bump my mic. The only thing that they have at the moment, which is decent, is a return policy, but that's automated.
Yes, and that's probably the best part of it, is the fact that it's fucking automated and it requires no human input. Yeah. So yes, this is a massive fuck up
get shit together
on Valve's part. I mean, I'm wondering, in 5 years will Valve support be good? In 3 years will it be good? I mean, how long is it going to fucking take for Valve to get their shit together? I mean, they've got
we'll find out when it eventually comes.
If it eventually comes.
Yeah.
Their support's like Half-Life 3. It'll come one day.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Apparently they are bringing in a support team, and they have been training and hiring people for support, so we'll see in the upcoming year how that goes. They don't
need a support team, they need a support fucking army.
Well, it's just, I assume that this is just a group who deals on the support side of things, so they'll be either building some sort of system that should support.
For a company with very, very poor support, they're doing awfully well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to fucking drop off though, with all this fucking Steam Greenlight shit and the support issues.
It is, yeah.
They need to do something.
They're becoming too big. They're like they're not imploding, but they've got to the stage where they're so fucking big. It's difficult to fix anything because of the issues of them being a fucking massive conglomerate company. That is privately owned. There are no shareholders in Valve. It's just it's privately owned. So
they also have a very strange structure where that nobody is ever set to one thing. They sort of just move around jobs, which is weird. Like, I can understand that's kind of good if you're only working on a couple of things, but in this sort of area or this sort of size, like, that's just a really strange thing to have.
It is, but it works for them. I mean, it's not like it
works for them in development, not so much in anything else.
I think that is very much it. They've approached everything like their entire business models from a games development point of view, and it doesn't always work, the way that they've been running things. So
yeah, they've gone from developers to publishers, and they're not really crossing that boundary properly.
Right. So that was the information we have about the Steam Christmas Screw Up. If you have any further information about it, feel free to hit us up in the comments. Shall we move on to the next and last news item?
The topics.
I don't have it in front of me. What is it?
It is Oculus pricing discussion, and I say discussion in big old air quotes because Keegz and I are about to have a big fucking argument.
We're about to have a
It's
huge
gonna be
argument.
a fucking argument.
So, before we get into our argument,
would you like to start off with your biggest views?
why don't you start, and I'll tell you all the reasons why you're fucking wrong. Before we start, though, the image I've used is of Will Smith from formerly of Tested, and it's probably the most used Oculus photo. It's the one that gets used for fucking everything. So you've probably seen this photo.
It's even the old one.
Yeah,
it's like DK1.
It was DK1. It was taken at CES back in...
Big square box on your face.
Yeah, it was back in 2010 or 11, I think. I can't remember. But it was the original DK1. Like, it was after they had the sort of like the prototype kit that was all like wires and shit hanging out. It was the DK1. So it's the photo that gets sent around to fucking everything, and it's it's a very, very highly shared photo. But
it's
moving
the
on.
future, man.
The future. So the Oculus Rift pricing has been announced, and the pre-orders have been announced, and the shipping date has been announced, and there's a tool you can download to see if your computer is ready for Oculus, which mine is not, as it turns out. So where should we start? Should we start with the price, or should we build up to the price? Should we leave it to last, Keegz?
No, I think the price is the big issue.
The price is the big issue. Let's start with the price. So I'm going to look up the price of it right now. Fuck off, you stupid ad. I'm going to convert the price.
$600.
No. Well, it is.
Exactly
Yes, that is correct. It is $600. Do you know how many Australian dollars that is? How many Australian dollary dollars?
$4,000
$930 or something.
Sorry.
930 or something.
Nope.
No. It's,
Guess again.
Was it $1,100 reduce?
That's closer. So
Yeah,
the price, if you
that's
want to
my
buy
guess.
one on pre-order right now, if you went to the Oculus store and said, I would like to buy an Oculus CK1, please, they would charge you $1,115.20 Australian dollar dues.
$1,000. Is that including shipping? Probably
Yes, that includes shipping.
not. Oh, that's not too bad then.
And you can see where Keegz and I are about to have our argument. $1,115.20. I've paid more than that for a single graphics card, but I did not play a lot more, and that was many, many years ago. So $1,115.20.
I have previously bought 2 cars for less than that.
There are cars that cost less than this.
I have.
And that's not including the cost of the computer you're going to need to run it. And the minimum specs for the Oculus came out the other day as well, and the minimum spec, probably the biggest news item here, is that it will require a GTX 970 or above, which is not a low-end graphics card.
Which is what I've got
by any means. So you're on the minimum.
Mine ain't just scrapes in.
But that's minimum. Like you're going to get. You're probably not going to get 90 frames per second on that, and that's what you're going to need because the screens run at 90 hertz. So
and that's why I don't like. That's why I completely agree with the price. Like I don't understand why people are fucking jumping up and down about the price.
Well, I think it's because Palmer Lucky made a comment that it would be in the $350 US price range, and when it actually
that was taken out of context.
It kind of was and kind of wasn't, though.
All right. This is my argument about this. Is that yes, he did say that. He said it was $350 or out of a $1,500 system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he took it from. Is that if you want to run it, you'd need a system that's about $1,500, and this would be roughly about $350 out of that system at the time when they're developing it. Now, obviously, everything's gone up because they wanted higher resolution, higher frame rate, and things change. But like that's fair enough. I can understand, and he even admitted in an AMA on Reddit, he treated that poorly. He didn't really get that across well enough. But I don't blame him for that. I blame the media for that. And I blame the media for the reason people are angry about the price. Because the media have been pushing this as if it's like a new console that everybody's going to have in their house. They're going to, sit down and fucking play with their family for this nice, a PlayStation $400. Why the hell is this so expensive? Because it's not a console. It's not just a peripheral for your computer. This is brand new tech. This is something nobody's ever had before and is reaching the new height of tech. Of course it's going to be expensive. When the Atari came out, it was about this price back then. I don't think this is an exorbitant price at all. I think this is cheap for what it is.
I think you are a fucking crazy, Keegz. We don't often disagree about much, but I think this is one of the things. Like, I didn't hear. I think people have in their head that this was meant to be like just another thing to add on their PC. It has been marketed and mediated. It is,
but it's not. This is brand new. This is technology. This isn't a toy. This is technology. Like
this is absolutely something that should, a fucking toy.
This is something that should be in a lab, not in your home. This is a luxury.
It is a luxury item, but it is a toy. And you generally don't spend $1,100 on a toy and then require a $1,000-$1,500 PC to go with it. I mean, this is basically a screen that is better. It's better than a screen.
Just look at the screen resolution.
Kegel is about to explode.
Just look at the screen resolution, the hertz, and see how much a monitor that would be roughly that is.
I imagine it'd be quite expensive, but the problem I have is that if you compare it to a monitor...
Then add on head tracking, then add on spatial movements, then add on the camera, add on the DVI, like everything else that adds on top of it. Of course it's going to be expensive. It's like strapping a monitor to your head with head tracking. Like, add all that together, it's probably going to be more expensive than what this is.
How much was your Track IR thing, Xenon?
I bought it for $350 Australian delivered.
And that's just the tracking.
Now stick
no
that
monitors
on.
in it. There's no.
Yes, that's true.
Now stick that onto a monitor that is 1200 by 2160 at 90
I'll be honest,
FPS.
I was not at all surprised by the fact that it was going to cost $1,100 reduce. I didn't like it, but it didn't surprise me.
Just for reference, what I was saying before about the Atari, okay, I've looked at this because I'd seen this before, so I looked it up. The Atari came out in 1977. And it cost $200 in 1977. The equivalent of that today would be $771.
And if it was $771 Australian, I'd be like, yep, I will buy one. But it's not.
Well, yeah.
It's $1,100.
Well, this is US. This is US dollars. This is more than the fucking...
Plus, with an Atari, you get an entire system. And yes, you've got to plug in a fucking TV. But what you're essentially buying here is a TV.
Yeah, so how much was the TV as well? Which probably the equivalent of the computer you're running right now.
It probably
in
was.
Inflation.
It probably was. But the thing is, you already own a TV. Like we already own a computer now. But...
I rest my case.
But the thing is, you could plug that into pretty much any TV. Whereas you can't plug this into any computer. You need a decent, in fact, you need a reasonably high-end computer to run this in the way it was.
I put it to you, good sir, that I would like to see you plug your Atari into one of the very early televisions. Those black and white fuckers that's about 4 inches wide. That's all.
That's killed the conversation. Where the fuck are we going with this?
It's chimed it in. Look, if people have a problem with the price, then they need to wait for this to be not new tech. Like everything else.
I think the issue here is price shock. It's not that this is an expensive item, it's just that it's much more expensive than people were expecting it to be. I think people expect tech of this... I mean, I know it's a brand new concept. Not only is it a brand new system, it's a brand new concept. Like strapping stuff to your face, while not new, it's new on a commercial scale.
It was done in the 80s.
Yeah, I know, but it's new on a commercial scale, and for someone to do it well, yes, it is new. But in order for this to actually like ship in the kind of numbers that Oculus are hoping it's going to, like having one of these in every room, for it to become a household name, they would have had to price this at around $400. Yeah,
but like, and I don't blame people for this. Like, I can understand the shock, but it's not the people's fault. It's not the VR's fault. It's the media's fault. The media is trying to market this as if it's a console or a peripheral or just something you have sitting in your room.
You can't just blame the media.
Everybody's.
The media is not always the scapegoat.
I am 100% blaming the media, because they're the ones that are pushing this, saying, "Oh, this is the future. Everybody's going to have this in their houses." Blah blah blah, and then it comes out $600, and then the media's like, "Oh, fucking, I can't believe it's so expensive." Of course, it should be. It's brand new technology.
Keegz.
What?
I've got one sitting in my room.
So do I, but this is the old one.
I've got one sitting in your room too.
Yeah, but these ones. Yeah, but these ones are only 1080p,
and it's literally just
and the old
sitting
one.
in the room.
Yeah, no, I've got one as well, and that's why I'm saying that's why I blame media. They're pushing this as if it's the next big thing. And to be honest,
was incredible to play Elite Dangerous on it for a while. Was amazing, but
yeah,
it's not good enough to play anything else on.
Yeah, and I think that's why people are upset as well, because they're saying it's going to be $600 and all this yada yada yada, and I still blame the media for this. That they're saying that, oh, it's amazing, games look amazing, it's going to be the future, but it's really not. It is a gimmick. It's kind of fun for a little while, and then you're like, well, I can't actually play the games I usually play on it because I'm going to get sick, or it's just going to make me feel whatever. It's an experience. It's definitely not a $600 US or $600 US experience, and that's why at the moment it's new tech. Give it 3-4 years until it becomes maybe $20 you buy down the road and plug it in. Sure,
well, it's going to be $20, but I think once you get to the $400 price point, where it's comparable with,
I still wouldn't buy one at $400.
You wouldn't buy one?
I still wouldn't buy one at $400. No,
so you're not going to buy one at $1,100?
No.
So all this talk, and you're not even going to buy one.
No.
You need to put your.
That's what I'm
saying. He was saying that it doesn't surprise him that it costs $1,100.
I never said that I. But
he's not going to buy one.
I never said I was going to buy one. I'm just saying I'm not shocked about the price. But like
I'm going to buy one, regardless of what the cost is, before Star Citizen comes out.
No, it's not enough. It's not worth it at the moment. Down the track, maybe, yes, but right now, it's really not worth it. It's way too much money for new tech, and tech that's probably going to get.
Because the only thing you've ever done with yours is watch porn.
Yeah, and porn's amazing, but it's going to be exponentially better in 2 or 3 years, and it'll be half the price.
I mean, I think like.
And in 2 or 3 years, I will have made 100 times the money.
What?
Yeah. But then it'll be half the price, and it'll be way better. And
yeah, that's all well and good. So you buy one then too.
Yeah,
I'm saying right now, like, there's no point. It is not worth buying right now. This is for tech frenzy people. These are the people who buy the newest consoles, the newest.
No, that was what the DK2 was, or the DK1 was. This is the consumer version.
Yeah, which is like the new iPhone coming out. This is what it is. It is a rich toy that is not worth the money for the everyday person. They're not going to put this in.
And you have to define rich. There's plenty of people out there who can afford it, who are willing to give up other things so that they can afford it. I 100% bet that they won't get their money out of it. That's subjective.
No, I'm just saying.
Like you might think that they haven't got their money out of it.
100%. I have paid for something half the price and half the tech, and I got my money's worth just maybe.
The DK2 you're referencing.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and like I barely ever use it, and I don't think it'd be any different even if it was better quality.
That's the problem.
I 100% do.
If I waited 2 years,
support it.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen right now. If I waited 2 years and this becomes half the price and twice as better, I'd buy it, and then it'd be worth it. Right now, you're jumping on the latest iPhone, which is the same as the old one, but twice the price. Like, it's just not worth it at the moment.
The thing is, though, if you have something that you want to play right now at this very moment that you know that VR headset will work with, then why not buy it?
If
like
you haven't
Star
tried
Citizen
it,
comes out, that's the only thing I care about. I want to buy
if you haven't tried it before, don't buy it.
And I have.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
it.
everybody else. I'm talking to everybody else. If you have not tried it before, do not buy it. Because for the amount that they're asking, I don't think it's worth it. For one game. So you're saying that you're going to pay $80 to play a game and then another $1,100 to enjoy that game?
I am going to pay a lot more than $1,100 to employ that game.
I could enjoy that game without the $1,100 on top of it.
Well, more bully for you. Because I'm going to buy a lot more stuff for Star Citizen than just the headset.
What do you buy? What else can you buy after you buy the game?
I just feel that the media has...
Go on.
Go on, Keegz.
I said, I feel that the media has hyped the shit out of this thing, and then everybody's backlash because of the price of it. Now they're trying to feel like the good guys saying, this is way too much.
I don't feel like the media has hyped the shit out of it. I haven't seen...
They have hyped the shit out of Oculus. They're the reason that everybody wants an Oculus.
I haven't seen much about the Oculus. I mean, like, the average person, if you went and asked the average person what the Oculus is, they're not going to know what it is.
Well, yeah, I'm talking about people
who are
into
for gamers who actually want to play games.
If you look, so if you look at the gaming sphere, the gaming community as a whole, I think the average gamer would probably know what it was. Maybe 60 to 70% of people would know what it was, but that's not. I mean, it's a lot of people, but it's not like it's a household name. It's not like everybody knows what Oculus is. Like if I ask my sister, who's a reasonably big gamer, what Oculus is, I'm reasonably certain she probably doesn't know what it is.
Well, anyway, you
got 3 more VRs, but I don't think she knows much about it.
Yeah.
You got 3 more VRs coming out this year. See what their price is.
Yes, well,
that's fine. Like if you want to wait until all the other ones come out, it's the same as any sort of technology. Wait and see whether those ones are better, cheaper. I don't reckon they are going to be any cheaper or any better than the Oculus.
I reckon they'll be cheaper. I reckon they'll be cheaper by a couple of $100.
I reckon the Vive, well, depending on how you want to use it, the Vive I think is going to be better. I don't know what the PlayStation one's going to be like. I have no fucking clue because they've been really quiet about
consoles
what they're doing with theirs. But the one thing, actually, speaking of price, PlayStation are going to have to be cheaper than their console to sell. So they're selling the PS4 for $400. Their VR is going to have to be less than that, otherwise nobody's going to buy it.
Yes, and that's sort of what made me think it was going to be around the 400. The Oculus was going to be around the $400 mark. It's like why would you it can't be stupidly more expensive than say a PS4 who's going to do much the same, almost exactly the same thing.
But I don't think it is though, because Oculus are going for the best of the best tech, or as far as they can get, whereas Sony's VR would just be to become a household name. And that's what I think, and that's what I think the mix-up is becoming. Is like some of these, like Sony is looking to be the household VR, whereas Oculus is like the tech guru's fucking Ferrari.
So you're saying that Sony wants to be the Wii of gaming?
Well, yeah, they have to be, because if they want to connect to their console, it has to be affordable. Otherwise, nobody's going to buy it. Otherwise, they are wasting their time doing it. And that's why I'm interested to actually see how much the Vive is going to cost, because the Vive has a lot more on top of it than the Oculus. So they're either going to have to be the same or more the amount of tech they put into theirs, because they've got full, room tracking and controllers and everything on the camera on the VR set. Like, it's sort
none of which I'm interested in.
They're a bit ahead of the Oculus, so they're going to probably be even more expensive.
Like Pug said earlier, he said like neither of us are interested in having to get up and walk around.
Oh yeah,
our tiny bedroom.
It is a very different experience. There's no, you can't.
I'm just thinking about
the Oculus and the Vive together and say these are the same.
I'm not comparing. I'm not comparing their tech. I'm comparing their price, but compared to their tech, because the Oculus has obviously already reached whatever it's going to do. It's the sit down, play games on your PC. The Vive is more of the environmental experience and the.
Do we know what the Vive's going to cost?
The Morpheus. Well, no,
there's
we don't. And that's
pricing.
what I'm saying is that the amount of tech.
So
Well, but that's what it said. I was like, the amount of tech that's been in the Vive is more than the Oculus, so it's going to have to be
That's
the
probably
same
gonna
or
cost
even
more.
more. Yeah, it is probably going to
Yeah.
cost more.
I would be
and
extremely
you were saying you
surprised if it
wanted
cost
to
more.
wait until the Vive come out, the Vive come out.
No, I'm saying that you've got 3 more coming out this year. So you've got the Vive coming out. You got the PS one, the Razer one is coming out, and there's actually another one which I can't remember. The Razer OS VR is coming out as well, which is an open source one.
Can't wait to miss that.
That'll be interesting to see how much that costs, because Razer's so good with their fucking stuff.
That will be much cheaper, but it'll be
yeah.
much worse, I would say. That is my prediction.
It's interesting that it's open source though.
Yeah, I think it is interesting,
Anyway.
but it's like anything. Like, if you have an open development environment, it tends to be worse and less user friendly. Much like Linux.
Yeah, but like we're in a VR gold rush at the moment. There's going to be
Yes.
thousands of companies spitting out VR.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah. I mean, there's even you can use your Samsung phone now as VR, which works actually really well for video, like not gaming, but for like videos and just experience
The
sort of
Gear
stuff,
VR,
like the sort of
yeah.
lower end, the lower end consumer stuff.
My next phone
So,
is probably going
I
to be a
mean,
Note.
it can be affordable.
My next phone is probably going to be a Note 5, which is compatible with a Gear VR. So I'm sort of wondering, should I buy a Gear VR given that it's only $150-200? So that might be an option for me.
I mean, if you're just going to watch videos and stuff on it, it's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't done the actual VR, but I've watched 360 videos just on my phone, just because it's weird. It's really kind of strange being able to look around the video just using your phone motors. And
I was
stuff.
actually, there was a video that came up on my Facebook feed the other day. It was a cricket video, I think, and it was like the camera strapped to the bowler's head, and you can sort of look around and see, like, as he was bowling.
Yeah.
But the bit that sort of freaked me out was the fact that you didn't actually have to like use your finger and spin around and make it do it. It's just like as you move the phone.
You just move the phone.
You move the phone, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, look at that, you know. I mean, it was blurry as fuck.
I did the
not
same.
Nice to use, but it was interesting.
I watched one on my tablet of a it was like a GoPro one, and it was just a guy skiing down a hill, and I was just laying in my bed, moving my tablet around, looking around at the view of the hill while he's skiing down the hill. It's pretty cool.
It's interesting, but it's a
The
gimmick.
future's
Like, it's
changing.
not. I mean,
Yeah,
it's something
but that's what
that
at
you
the
would
moment, that's
say.
what VR is. It's a gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something you would go, oh, I'm going to buy a tablet or I'm going to buy a headset for this. It's like, it's something that's sort of. I could see a future where all videos were 360 and it was just accepted that you could move around and see shit as you moved your phone or your tablet around. But
Porn's leading the way in that way.
Keegz has done extensive research in that regard.
They are.
Rose
they
is
are
saying
straight
that
on top of
Oculus
that.
is going for beyond gaming.
Yeah.
So they're looking at stuff outside gaming. Are they doing that solely because they've been bought by Facebook? Were they
No,
ever looking
they
at
were
doing
that
stuff
long
outside gaming?
They were doing that.
Yeah,
long
before-
they were talking about that a long time ago. Like they're looking for the
Right,
top
okay.
end of VR because they want to do 3D modeling.
But what else
3D
is there apart from
space and
gaming that VR can be used for?
Science,
augmented
Like,
reality,
if
all sorts
just-
of shit.
Yeah, well, just one of their key ones was like laboratory working, looking at like the Large Hadron Collider and that when they're looking through all the photos and whatever. If you can do that in VR, it's a lot quicker than trying to look through just a palette of a microscope, or even a VR headset hooked up to a microscope, or a VR headset hooked up to a microscope going up somebody's arteries. A lot of uses.
When you
for it.
said going up his where are we?
Arteries.
Arteries. Oh, I see.
Going up somebody's arteries.
Come on, boys, keep it civil. Come on, family show.
Family show.
Fucking earth.
Okay, nice. Okay. So I think we could agree to disagree on the price. I think it's too much. Keegz says it's fine, though he won't buy one, so that makes him a hypocrite.
Too little.
And I'm Goldilocks.
Should be
I
more.
say it's
He's in the middle.
it's
just right.
what it is.
The
I'm not
Oculus.
saying it's just right. I'm saying that I know why it's that much.
I know why too, but I don't think it
It's-
should be that expensive. I think if anything, they should have sold. Not should have, but I think they
So
probably.
you're saying that they should be selling it at a loss.
I think they
just for
probably
you.
could have sold it at a loss to gain market share, to play the long game. It's not like they're bought by Facebook. It's not like they need a fuckload of money. They could have sold it to gain market share to essentially kill the other systems. Like all.
I don't know that Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's out of cash.
Why do you say that?
He looks like a poor man. He gets around, shabby clothing, shit house.
Yeah, he
can't afford shit.
I wish I was
crappy car.
I wish I was poor like
you're
Mark
thinking of
Zuckerberg.
Zoidberg, not
Yes.
Zuckerberg.
Zoidberg. So the Oculus VR Touch, the Oculus Touch controller has been delayed till the second half of 2016, which will put it like a release before the Oculus Rift, but they're saying that it will be released shortly after the rollout of the Rift. So go figure what that means.
Well, the other thing too is that they were saying that it was all the Rifts were going to be sent out in April or something, and then you go to the website and it says May, and that's because they sold out.
Well, that's the thing. They're not going to be released in May. They first said April, then they said May, and now they're saying June.
Oh, it's even further now then. They must have got too many pre-orders.
It actually blew out. I've got a thing here. Where is it? Oculus Rift shipping date pushed back to June for new pre-orders. So the Oculus Rift pre-orders kicked off yesterday, which was a couple of days ago, with the price tag, with the shipping date of March the 28th. They sold it immediately, and the date got pushed back to May, and now they're looking like June. So I'm wondering, you'll probably get it in August, realistically.
Yeah, probably.
So
and then you can buy the you can buy the controllers for probably I don't know.
touch controller.
They'd probably be a cheap $400 or something.
They cost more than the Rift. Well, I'm actually interested to see how the controllers work. I mean, they look. In 10 years, we're going to look at these and go, "What the fuck were we thinking?" But they look interesting. I think if they bundled the controllers with the Rift for around $600, I'd probably look at getting one. But they didn't, so I won't.
Yeah.
But they don't, so I won't.
They don't, so I won't. So I'm probably looking at the CK2 once all the bugs of the CK1 have been ironed out. I will probably look at getting the second or third generation VR. I'll let Keegz spend all his dollary dues on either CK1 second hand or something like that. I'm probably going to wait till someone else has got one so I can see what it's like before I actually commit to having
here
money.
we go.
What?
We know what it's like. We've got a DK2.
Yeah.
Well, no, but you don't know what
DK
it's
All
like.
it's going to be
DK2's only
is that,
Dick-
except higher res.
No,
2
it's
times
not.
better.
No, it's not. That's not it at all.
In what way is it not?
In every way,
There's a lot. There
There
more
is a
things
lot of
different
tech gone
than
on
the
in between
new ones.
there and there. They didn't just go upgrade the screen, that'll do, push it out. Not in any way. They've made huge strides in every fucking department, like weight, size, head tracking, everything. Everything has been made better.
The head tracking is pretty much perfect in
Okay.
the DK2.
Yeah.
So imagine,
not
like,
really.
There is nothing that.
think back to before you had the DK2 and you go, oh yeah, head tracking, that's not so bad. Then you got the DK2 and went, oh, that's pretty smooth. Imagine how much better it's going to be with, the 2 or 3 years of
There was no head
research.
tracking before the DK2. DK2 is the only head tracking I've ever had, and it's perfect.
DK1 and the prototype and the Gear
I never
VR.
had a DK1.
Well, no, you didn't, but it
Yeah, they do have
existed.
DK
I never had that.
No, but
I'm
it
sure
existed.
it existed, but I never touched it. At no
Yes.
point was one on my head.
Okay, but what happened was that the DK1 existed, and then the DK2 you bought, and it's better. It's better in every way. I can tell you that without even trying it. Everyone who's tried it has said, "Oh my god, it's so much better than the DK2."
Every slightest movement of my head is picked up by the DK2.
Okay, you're
in what way can it
concentrating on
get
the
better?
head. You're concentrating very much on the head tracking when there's a lot of shit going on. The fact that you don't see it and understand it doesn't invalidate it. It's happening. There's a reason it costs as much as it does.
Well, I'm expecting a blowjob from this thing when I put it on.
Well, fire up your porn
'Cause that's what
VR
you're
and you will
promised.
get one.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what the new
Sounds
handy
very much
dandy
like
hole is on the front of it. You can literally fuck your own face. You just stare at your
'Cause-
crotch and you just start banging
Because
into
there's
your...
not many other ways that it can get better. I can think of.
I can think of
I can think
just
of
think
many
of
ways.
what you've just said. There is not many ways it can get better. and think
I
of
don't
what
even
you're
think
going to have
90
in
hertz
20
is enough.
years. 20 years from now.
Every
you'll look back on
direction that I move my head copies it.
Stop thinking
mean,
of just head tracking. It's not just head tracking. It's not a head track. It's not a screen
At
attached to
higher
your head.
res, tracking.
It's not
higher
just a
res.
screen attached to your head with head tracking. That's not what it is. There is so much other shit going on in the background that you don't see and you don't feel. You don't realise it's there, but it happens.
Well, someone's going to have to tell me about it because it seems that you can't.
Well,
thinking about
I'm
getting
not a
a
VR
Vive.
fucking expert, am I?
Clearly,
I do my best.
you're telling me
I
that
don't
there's
think-
amazing things going on with this shit, and you can't tell me what it is.
Well, I
Well, it's
understand.
only up to
amazing
90
things.
hertz.
I understand that there are things that I don't understand, but they still happen. There are people who have said this is much better than the DK2, and I'm prepared to believe it, even though I
Can
haven't
they
tried it.
articulate the way that it's better?
Well, yes,
Listen
they
to
have,
them.
but I can't bring it up on fucking demand. These are things that I've read like weeks ago.
Fair enough.
All right. I'll tell you what I know.
What do you know,
Because
kids?
the resolution has gone up to 1200
It won't take long.
by 2160.
Hang on,
The,
sorry, say that again.
Sorry.
What's the
Sorry,
resolution?
The resolution is now 1200 by 2160.
What is that? Is it
It is
equivalent
at
of is
90
that equivalent
hertz.
of a 2K monitor?
Yeah, about roughly 2K. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The 90 hertz, which I still don't think is enough. I think it needs to be higher than that. I
Well,
mean, for
that's-
it to be non-sickening for certain people, I think it needs to be higher than 90 hertz. It
Folks,
is
in
up
case
to
you were
one-
wondering, that's one of the things that they will improve upon.
It's also
I'm happy with 60
1.2
hertz. 60 frames is good enough for me.
Imagine
I
how
know.
much nicer
Fuck no.
144
Get out of here.
would be.
See,
Get out of here! Get out of this room! Get out of here!
Keegz is going to set me on fire for it.
Yeah, you
but
will.
I play everything at 60 frames. I'm happy
Well,
with
yes, there's a difference between
Not-
running things at 60 frames and running things at 60 hertz. It's a difference between getting sick and not getting sick for some people. And plus, like 90 hertz
Some people.
is probably not going to be enough for
Not
some
90's
people.
better. I think it needs to be more though.
120
I think
plus
90.
is sort of what you. I mean, in 10 years, we'll probably be running 500 hertz or 1,000 hertz, or maybe hertz doesn't matter. Maybe it's something else that matters. That stops people from being
Yeah.
sick, or you get more
Well-
enjoyment, or
well-
You
whatever
need
it's
better
from.
eyes in order to see the technology better.
Well, once you get over 250 hertz, you then need to fix your millisecond delay, which the newest Oculus is 1.2, which is pretty fucking fast. I mean,
That is fast,
my monitor's only 2.
which is fucking fast.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Get it down to 0.2, and then 0.002, and then 0.0002.
And then at
You
a
have
point
a
you cannot
fibre-
even measure.
And
Fiber
there's
connection
a
from
point
your.
where your eyes don't even fucking notice.
Well, that's right. You've just got two like fiber nodes coming out of your PC straight in your eyes, just like this.
Yeah, that's right. Just poking you in the eyeballs.
Yeah, just click in the fiber cable straight in your eyes. Sends it directly.
It's too much
Faster
lag
than
for the
sun.
eyes. You got to plug it directly into your brain.
into the
that's
brain. Yeah,
Straight
Matrix
into your
style.
cortex.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then your brain won't even be enough.
You'll have to
Yeah, that's
overclock
right.
your
Your
brain.
brain's
brain
just
into
like-
a supercomputer.
You got a fan just whizzing above your head, trying to cool your head down while you're overclocking your brain.
What's
The
funny
future
about
sounds
that
glorious.
is that people used to think that the brain was a device for cooling the blood.
Complete opposite.
Well, it probably does
Ima-
cool blood.
ima-
Well, it's a
Imagine what
device
we'll know
for
in
cooling your
200
brain. Yeah. Wait, sweat, baby. Sweat, baby,
Yeah.
sweat.
What was our point? What were you making, Keegz? Oh, you're going through the specs.
Oh, who cares?
You're going through the
Yeah,
specs. What are
who
the
I don't know, I
specs?
was just yelling for the hell of it.
The new one's better. It'll always be better.
Well, I think that's the case for every piece of technology
Wise
ever
words.
released.
Still
Wise
not
words.
worth $600 yet, unless you're planning on curing cancer with it.
You know what I found fucking surprising when I went through the specs? This device requires 3 USB 3 ports plus 1 USB 2 port. Are you fucking kidding? Are you bullshitting me?
The USB.
That's going to be
Yes.
most of the ones on the back and at least one on the front.
Oh, that leads me
Okay.
into my next point. There is a tool you can download, and I shall give you the URL verbally because that's much more fun that way. It is... Where is it? Here we go. So, if you go to shop.oculus... that's boring. Shop.oculus.com, there is a...
HTTP.
Yeah,
Slash.
http://shop.oculus.com. there's a blue link that says make sure your Windows PC is Rift ready. You download that and it tells you that your PC is not Rift ready, as what happened to me.
Rift ready.
Rift ready.
Rift ready.
Rift ready. The problem I had was that the USB 3 USB ports that I had are not compatible with the Rift for some reason. It didn't really say why.
Oh.
So I have to go and buy a. I'm not going to, but if I wanted to buy one, I have to go and buy a USB 3 PCIe card, plug it in with 4 ports, mind you, or 3 ports, and have a USB Oculus fucking card just dedicated just to the fucking Oculus. So that was interesting.
I'm about to do the Oculus.
Are you going to do the test?
Checking memory.
Let's see if you win.
Checking processor. Checking graphics card.
Graphics
checking
card's
operating
there.
System. Checking USB ports.
Oh, this is where we fail.
Wait for it.
Do you win or do you fail?
Let's check mine.
Hang on. Wait for it.
Oops.
I'm still waiting for it.
Still doing a lot of checks.
It
Any
may have
moment
crashed.
now.
I'm definitely not Rift ready.
You crashed the tool that you used to check to see whether your PC is Rift ready.
Oh, here we go. No, congratulations. You're ready for Oculus Rift.
You
Suck a dick,
fucker.
bitches.
You are ready. I bet your Keegz is ready too. I bet you my machine's the only one that's not.
Graphics card, memory, operating system, processor, USB, all ticked.
Make sure you are Rift ready. Let's have a look.
Everybody in the stream,
Downloading.
everybody watching at home, you should go and see if your PC is Rift ready for the piece of Rift that you can't fucking afford.
Send my information to them. Checking
Nope.
processor. Warming breakfast pastry. Congratulations, you are ready for Oculus Rift.
You fuckers. So George
Someone
asks
explain
how
to me and
hertz
George
frames
exactly
are-
how hertz and frames are related.
So hertz are the number of times your monitor refreshes, i.e. number of times it draws on the screen backwards and forwards. Now you could have a lower frame rate than your hertz. Like so if you've got a game that's locked at 30 frames per second, you'll essentially draw the same thing twice on your screen for every frame that you have. So if you've got a game that runs at 90 frames per second, you've only got a 60 hertz monitor, you'll still only see 60 frames per second, but you'll get problems with tearing and shit like that. So
Lies.
don't listen to Keegz, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's not quite how it works.
Okay, Keegz,
You're close. It's not quite how.
you give me your rundown on how it works.
This is his interpretation of hertz versus frames.
Go, Keegz, go.
All right.
Keegz is
So,
Wikipedia area
as
right
you
now.
said, no, because I actually watched a video on this because I was interested, especially when I was looking at a 144 hertz monitor.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a monitor that'll run 60 hertz and you're getting 120 frames, it'll still look better because your screen refreshes at a certain amount of time, but it still has drop frames because your screen may refresh at a different time than your graphics card loads a new pixel.
That is
Or
true.
loads a new,
I mean, it's
new
not
screen,
synchronized,
and
but-
that's what,
Yes.
yeah, that's what G-Sync is about. Is that it tries to fix that problem to make it more uniform, and that's why if you don't have a G-Sync or a FreeSync monitor, if you're running something at 60 hertz, you want to try and aim for more than 60 FPS because that will give you more chance of missing the drop frames. So, like I can notice a difference of like I have a 144 hertz monitor and I'll play CS:GO at 300 FPS. If I play CS:GO at 150 FPS, it doesn't look anywhere near as smooth as if it was any more than that because I'll get drop frames from the difference of my refresh rate and my frames per second.
Does it drop the frames though, or does it render half a frame ahead? So if
No,
you're
it's not tearing. It's not tearing. It is dropping. It is dropping the frame.
so you got VSync turned on, is what you're saying?
So you get a black frame
No,
instead?
no, I have
You
VSync
get the
turned
frame
off because
earlier?
I never use VSync. No, the thing is that frame disappears. So if I'm watching my crosshair move, I'll see it moving smoothly and then it'll jerk. That is because it's dropped a frame and it's picked up a frame later because the refresh rate has missed those few frames that the graphics card has rendered. So I'll just get a slight jerk in it if my frame rate is heading towards my refresh rate my refresh rate, I'll start getting jerky movements. Whereas if my frame rate is much higher than my refresh rate, I have more rendered frames in between the refresh, so I get less jerking.
If you have more rendered frames in between the refresh rate,
Not very often that
they get
Keegz
dropped
gets less jerky.
because they're not being rendered. Well,
No, they don't get dropped.
Well, they're not being used because the screen
so
is displaying.
imagine you have a line. Imagine you have a line that says 1 to 44.
All right.
And then you have another line that is 1 to 50. 1 to 44 is my refresh. 1 to 50 is my frames per second.
Right.
So I've got 150 frames over 144 refreshes. So I'm going to miss 6 frames.
No, you're going to miss.
Okay.
You're going to miss 70 frames. No, you're going to miss 90 frames. What did you say? 144.
144 hertz over
Yeah.
150 frames.
Oh, right. Okay.
So 6 of those frames are not going to be refreshed. Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to miss 6 frames every 2 milliseconds.
Right. Yes.
Because that's
Correct
the
so far.
speed that it's refreshing to me. Yeah. Now, if I have 300 frames over 144,
Yes.
yes. So over that,
Is this going to be like
over
that
those
time we
two-
tried to calculate how many frames Usain Bolt would
Probably.
run between?
there
0
there
and
is a
100?
video, and I'll find there is a video.
We don't
about
have
this,
time to
which I
watch that,
watched.
Keegz. Ain't no one got time for
Yeah,
that.
I'm not saying that we should watch it, but I'll put it up. But
We spent 2 days on that shit.
there is a very significant difference between FPS and hertz. It's not that important for many people, like it, unless you're really, really into.
I agree. You're talking
Like it,
it's extreme high end.
most people aren't going to notice the difference. I mean, I only care about it because I play FPS and I play it at a higher level, so I notice if I drop a frame, I will. Or if I drop a few frames, I'll notice, especially when I'm trying to shoot someone.
Because Keegz sits
So,
there and goes, "Fuck, that's
yeah.
drop frames. I could have shot that fucker on the head."
It's frustrating when your machine works against you, right? That's why I have 144 hertz monitor, and I won't play an FPS unless it's at least 150 frames a second.
Fair enough. Can we get back to arguing about Oculus?
Are we done with the Oculus?
Hell no, I got a lot more argument in me.
All right, you argue. I'm going to go pee.
I can't argue if you're not here. Although you can't defend yourself, so maybe I'll just
Stop.
right. So yeah, so
You're
if
not
you're
arguing with me.
well, I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing in general. So the Oculus is going to cost
Because you're an argumentative sort of bastard.
Exactly. $1,150. It's going to be released maybe in June, probably later. It's not going to have the controllers that you kind of need. It's like the Oculus Touch controller is kind of what you need, and it's dubious as to whether or not they're going to be that good when they do release them. So it's too expensive. It's going to be released late. It doesn't have a lot of competition at the moment. Like the HTC Vive, or the Valve Vive, is pretty much its only competition, or only meaningful competition at this stage. And then they're kind of two different. They're two different system that you'll use in two different ways. Like one's for getting up and standing around, walking around, touching things, whereas the Oculus is more sitting down, first-person shooter, or gaming type device. So it takes a lot of USB ports. Like 4 USB ports is a lot of USB ports in a lot of systems. Like some people's systems may not have. Probably won't have 4 free USB ports. I don't think my system does, and I've got a fairly high. In fact, I've got a very fucking high-end graphics card. So that's also a pain in the butt. You're going to have to go.
It's not that high end.
My motherboard.
Check whether your Rift ready and get back to me.
Go fuck yourself. So yeah, I mean it's you need a bunch of free USB, you need a high-end graphics card, or relatively high-end graphics card, you need a mid to high-end CPU in order to run this at 90 frames per second, which even Keegz agrees is probably not going to be high enough. You're probably looking at more like 144 hertz to get really smooth, non-sickening gameplay. So,
Speaking of hertz, I realised while I was peeing that I mentioned that the wrong way around.
what?
With the hertz, you have 144 hertz and 150 frames per second.
Mhm.
The problem is that if it lands in between a frame, it'll re-render the same frame. That's why it jerks. So you end up with the frame being, counted twice. So if you have more frames, you are more likely to pick up on a refresh a new frame. That's why it's important to have more FPS in your hertz.
This has been Hertz and Frames with Keegz.
Yeah. But then you go into things like tick rate, and then it gets, it's all kind of...
It gets complicated from there on in.
Pointless because you can't fucking tell.
It gets very... Fuck you. You can definitely tell.
Fotis is one of those people that runs everything at 30 FPS going, I don't see any difference between 30 FPS.
Like, oh, this looks fucking great.
I run everything at 60. 60 is perfectly acceptable for almost everything.
Nah.
It's fine.
Nah.
That's what people who...
More than that's lovely. 60, perfectly enough.
That's because you've never played anything higher than 60.
I think 60 FPS is okay for the majority of games that are not CSGO and require, Twitch shooters.
Yeah.
It's nicer
Anything
to
that
have...
requires accuracy, you need more.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's 144 Hz is nice to have. It's not required for... Like, you can't play Armor at 144 Hz. It doesn't run that fucking high. So, having 60 Hz monitors...
that game's far too broken.
Don't start, Reese, on...
Most I can get out of Armor is 90.
Yeah.
The last thing we need from him is a rant about Armor.
It's another Armor rant, yeah. So
I've come to accept Armor for the piece of shit it is. So I'm happy with just leaving it.
That's
as.
only because you played it once and everybody loved you for it.
I've played it a few times and I still hate it, but it is what it is. It's just a broken ass game.
Oh dear. It's one of the highest played games on Steam. Did you know? Not as high as CS:GO.
Because everybody likes that RPG one, whatever it's called.
The Altus Life. Yeah. It's good. We played that. And Keegz sat around a base and didn't fly a helicopter.
I actually found out the other day that one of the guys, he's actually
Pretty sure he
TeamSpeak
crashed
at
two
the
planes.
moment. One of the guys in now TeamSpeak at the moment is a mod of one of the Australian ones.
What?
Which one?
Lukey. Yeah,
What?
I know.
Lukey.
Who is it?
I didn't. Lukey.
Lukey who?
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't even see him.
Really?
Say hello, Lukey.
No, he's not in there right now.
He's in AFK. He's in the TeamSpeak.
Oh, in TeamSpeak, not in the YouTube comments.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
He's not even in the TeamSpeak. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, he's in AFK.
Is he? Oh, he is too. Looky, there he is.
You're dragging him down here.
Well, bugging me.
No, I don't want to know him.
Yeah,
He will argue you into the ground about armor and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's pretty much all we had, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Still got half a drink left.
Half a
Really, 11:30.
Better scull it. My drinks are all empty. Oh, hang on, I've got a bit left.
Get out. Can't skull
Really?
fine monkey shoulder. To be savoured.
What have you been playing this week, Keegz? Well, the last 3 weeks, actually, I should say.
I don't know if I've played anything new.
Well, there is an easy way to
Civilization a fair bit.
go and fucking look on Steam, prick.
I'm pretty sure the
We
only
played
thing I
Civ 5
yeah, Civ 5.
over many nights and it failed every time.
You
Oh,
tried.
it's so broken. I'm
You
so upset about
tried
it.
to play Civ 5 over many nights.
No, we did play it. We'd play it for probably, 80 turns? About an hour and a bit. And we'd have a
Yeah.
great time when we were doing it, all taking the piss out of each other, making fun of each other. Then suddenly, snap.
Yeah, get
The
to
whole
about
thing fell
80
down around our ears.
80 to 100 turns and just crashed. And
And
apparently
suddenly-
that's for everybody. Everybody who plays a multiplayer game over 4 people, it crashes at around about 100
Yeah.
turns.
So we'd be having an awesome time making fun of Told Old, generally enjoying ourselves, and then
Warmongering.
suddenly we'd have to start again. We'd start a new
Yeah.
one. Same thing would happen again.
I played Just
So there's a
Cause
tip
3.
for anyone considering playing Civ 5.
Did you play it on stream?
play it
or
with your
record or
friends.
something?
Yeah, I've been playing it again recently because they've actually fixed the graphical issues, so it looks like it should.
Oh, you can't see through the well anymore? That was my favourite part of your stream.
No, I actually have some nice scenery now.
Well, that's
is it
sad.
Just Cause?
Yeah.
A friend of
kinda
mine was going to
fun,
give me
kind
the Just Cause collection, but the problem was it didn't include Just Cause 3. It was like Just Cause 1 and Just Cause 2. And I was like, is that really a collection if it's only 2 games?
That's not the,
It's
that's
only two.
a collection.
I guess
It's not the definitive
it's
collection.
not really, like, you don't have all of them. It's not really a collection. It's a shitty collection.
No, it's the history of Just Cause.
Fotis,
Not the latest Just Cause.
what have you been playing?
Well, like I've said, I've played Civ 5 with
You
the
tried to play
guys.
Civ 5?
Well,
Yeah.
we've had a crack at playing Civ 5.
Classical
Up until
era.
recently, I've been playing a lot of Fallout 4, but with work in the last probably week and a half, it's just been like I haven't had the right headspace to play it. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think of anything else I've been playing. Oh, we had a game of Age of Empires 3 just for old times' sake,
No, yeah.
Ye olde times, yeah.
and that was kind of what made us decide to play Civ 5, because if
Did we
you
even
can
get
get Civ
that to
5 to
work?
work properly, it's a like a much better version of Age of Empires 3.
We couldn't even get Age of Empires to work, could we?
Yeah, we played a game of it, finished it.
Did we?
We killed the bad guys, and then we went, might as well play Civ 5.
I can't remember. I can't remember actually
Really?
playing it. I remember,
How pissed were
trying.
you? You were there.
I was probably pretty pissed.
Yeah.
I'll try.
Because we played
Yeah.
one game of it.
Oh yeah, I've got an hour and a half played, so I must have played something.
It took an hour and a half.
Keegz has blanked out that entire hour and a half.
Yeah. I don't remember
Staggered
that
into
at all.
bed drunk.
I'm pretty sure it might have been on a weekend and you were tanked.
Still don't remember.
I had a crack at-
I remember us trying to play it, and we had all these issues with Hamashi, and then like we eventually got to work.
Yeah,
but then,
we got Hamachi to work and we played a game of it.
good times. Good times.
Trouble with Hamachi is you can only have 5 people in a server.
Fucking much.
Yeah.
That works
Yeah.
fine.
Well, there you go.
I had a
actually,
crack
no, I
at
do
playing
remember now.
Besiege.
See?
I had a crack at playing Besiege
Oh, Besiege,
and
yeah.
quickly got bored of it.
It kind of is like... It's
Like,
one of those
they're-
games I thought would be
There's
really
supposed
cool
to
to
be
play.
new. There's supposed to be new maps, like new levels.
But...
I couldn't find them.
Oh, they're not in the default like loadout?
I think they might be, but all the ones I'd played before. So
Did
maybe mine hadn't
you-
updated properly or something.
When you very first started up, there's like a little world symbol, and you can choose different parts of
Yeah.
the world. Did you maybe
Yeah.
not select the
Yeah, I
right
did
one? Oh.
No, I'm all over that shit.
I'm all up in that shit.
And there was nothing new. There was nothing new on that world. I think the new levels may have been within the levels that were already there. So they were added to the ones that were already there on that island.
Right.
And I clearly didn't click on the right one because I tried to play it. Was one I'd already played. I gave up. Went to bed.
Clearly. Well,
Yeah.
fair enough. So you gave up Besieged. Anything
Um,
else?
Yeah, I gave up and Besieged. Kerbal Space Program. I go through these phases of Kerbal Space Program.
Yeah.
Where I get really excited about it. And then fly to the moon, land on the moon, fly home again, and then go, right, what's the next thing? You fly to Minmus and you go, fuck, that's hard. Give up.
Give up. Play something else.
Play something else. We had a crack at Medieval Engineers and it failed every single time. So we never really got anywhere with that.
I actually went and bought that because you guys were all G'd up to play it, and then by the time
Really?
I finished downloading, everyone said, "Yeah, it doesn't fucking work." And I'm like, "You fucking
it's
kidding
broken.
me?"
It might be, at some point in the future, it may well be fun.
I think I might even get my money back on that one.
Keep it on the back burner and we'll play it again sometime soon.
Maybe.
No, don't.
Yeah.
No, keep it because it's going to be a fun game.
If the multiplayer
Oh.
works, it'd be alright. Get to watch
Reign of
Nathan
Kings.
drop a tree on himself.
Oh yeah, that was funny. And I'm pretty sure someone dropped a tree on me first.
Yeah, that was me.
Tree Dropping Simulator 2016.
Reign of Kings. I've recently got back into Reign of Kings. I got killed after about 2-3 hours. Lost all my stuff and gave up. Seems to be a defining feature of the games I play.
Mm-hmm.
But
Whether it be
all of
Rust.
the new features in Reign of Kings, make it actually really quite fun. So I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to try and convince everyone to come with me to come and play it. But I don't think anyone else owns it, so
I
that's going
don't.
to be tough.
I don't know.
No, I don't think anyone else does. But they've added so much new content to it, like new things you can build and stuff you can put in your building. It's going to be fun. It's kind of like a cross between Rust and like Space Engineers type
I can't find myself playing another Rust game. I sort of enjoyed Rust. The problem with Rust was
We could totally play
people.
Rust again. It'd be awesome.
I wouldn't play Rust again. If I could get my money back on
No,
Rust,
I
I would
wouldn't either.
totally do it.
Piss off. We had an awesome time with Rust.
We did, but only because we were
There
all
was a
playing it
man
together.
in my house. I locked in, and he meowed the whole time.
He did.
No
That
other
was the
game
best
gives
part
you
of the fucking.
That was the
18
best part
hours
of the
playing.
of the 18 hours that we played. I mean, I made some funny videos
Hey,
on that, but I had to work.
you gotta
work
put
hard
in
to
the
make
work.
it funny.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. You got to put in the work.
Yeah, I'm not interested in putting in work into games. They're games because I don't
Work's
want
fine.
to work.
Time's the issue.
Yes, that's the other issue. That's why I play Rocket League.
A bunch of lazy pansies is what you are.
Ah, Mountain Blade's an awesome game.
Mounty Blade.
Yeah, Mountain Blade. I've actually played the shit out of Mountain Blade.
You have
I
some
go
hours
through
put into
stages
that.
of Mountain Blade.
Various mods. Warband. Well, it
I think
says
I went through.
330, but I'm pretty sure that I've played a lot more than that.
I went through a weekend where I got really, really drunk and didn't sleep for like 2 days and just played Warband.
Every
like,
weekend. Oh,
from-
wait.
In other words, he
Yeah.
had a weekend.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday afternoon.
I think I got I was so tired at some point because I've got like photos and pugs and all them on Facebook in a chat, and I was so tired at some point that I started doing a journal entry every hour of how I was going at like between the hours of 4 to 8 in the morning.
This is Keegz checking in.
conquest. It was quite a. I wish I'd been making videos at that point because it was pretty funny. I thought anyway. I might have to look back. Might have been sad. Who knows? But I nearly conquered the entire island.
Nearly but didn't.
Yeah, I sort of stopped playing. Actually, went to sleep, and I just didn't play again. I'll give it another go one day.
Ruffalord says, Xenon, you need a Holden. That way you'll get used to putting in your work and you'll play Rust. I don't know what that means.
You
Rust
own a
and
Holden. You've got a Caprice.
I've got a Holden. It's a Caprice. It's 2004 model.
Yeah.
Got 330,000 K.
Full of rust.
Full of Rust. Yes.
I've got a Holden. It's a Commodore VS,
Yes. Yeah.
and it's done a lot of Ks too.
We come from a Holden family. We're Australian, so yeah.
Yeah.
Mount Blade Warband, 205 hours.
205.
I've played it a fair bit.
That's a fair
I
bit.
tell you, someone that doesn't own a Holden. There's 3 people here. One of them doesn't have a Holden.
1 in 3 people in Australia does not own a
I don't
Holden.
have. I don't have any form of corporate vehicular possession.
Holdens do not break down. They're called Holdens because they hold together.
And that's not how you spell break. That's a typical Ford sort of. It's a Ford
That's a Ford mistake.
driver right there. Yeah.
How many hours have you put in this week, Xenon? Oh, God, you asked, Xenon. I have 336 hours on record with Rocket League.
Mopar.
Rocket League.
I have
Your rockets.
431 hours in Arma 3 and 22 hours in Deus Ex Revision, which I've been started playing again this week. What have I actually been playing this week? Oh, actually, one thing I have been playing this week that I don't normally play is Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, which is the sort of DLC / standalone game for Wolfenstein: New Order. It's a prequel.
I'm kidding, by the way. That is how you spell break. Except for breakdown. Just so that you're aware. Go on.
Hold them together with beer cans. We're getting into a Ford versus
Let's
Holden
try that
argument
again,
in the chat, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been playing
I
Wolfenstein:
have-
The Old Blood, and it's pretty good. Like if you've played Wolfenstein: The New Order and went, geez, I want some more of this, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood is more of the same. It's a prequel that leads into the game, the main game. So it's probably, I reckon I probably got 10 hours out of it. And I think I did pretty much everything. I pretty much explored everywhere. Like you'd be hard pressed to get more than 10 hours worth out of it. But it was a good game. Like it was just more of the same. Like I enjoyed Wolfenstein: The New Blood. I enjoyed Wolfenstein: the New Order. I enjoyed The Old Blood. So it was a prequel. It gives you some sort of insight into why what's his name, BJ Blazkowicz gets into the situation that he's in the main game. So all of the graphics and everything are exactly the same. It's made. I'm pretty sure it's made on exactly the same engine, made by the same people, same voice actors, same everything. It's just more of the same. If they made another game that's exactly the same as the previous one, this is pretty much it. Just a different story. So. It's relatively expensive. I think it was like $30 or $35 or $40 for 10 hours worth of content. But it's a pretty high quality game. Like, it's got a lot of polish. It's probably even slightly more polished than the actual game. So, if it comes up on Steam and you're like, oh, should I buy it? Should I not? Get it on sale. Like, it's probably worth $10-15 in reality. Like $15, $20 maybe if you really like the original game. So. Go and grab it and play it. It's good.
Cool.
What was the game? What were you talking about?
Wolfenstein: The Old Blood.
Ah, right.
It's probably actually slightly less ridiculous than the main game, although the end monster you have to fight against is slightly more ridiculous. So evened out in its ridiculousness.
It did remind me of the earlier Wolfenstein type games.
Oh, actually,
so they're very much kept to their.
One of the things I will actually say about this game is that there is a point at. Should I give it away? Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. I have something for this. Wait, just a second.
Do we need a spoiler alert or what?
We do need a spoiler alert. Bang! Spoiler. So if you want to play this and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'd like to play that, turn down your volume now until I take the spoiler image off the screen. In the Old Blood game, there is a point at which there's like you're walking through a city or a town. Well, it's a city, and you walk past an alley, and if you pay attention, there's a mattress on the ground. And normally you don't really sleep in the game. It's all in one thing. But if you walk up to the mattress, you'll see that next to the mattress there's a cardboard box with a picture of the old style Wolfenstein 3D. Like the really really old one from the late 80s, early 90s. And if you look at the mattress, you get an option to sleep. And if you go to sleep, you have a dream in which you can play the original Wolfenstein. In Wolfenstein, it's like Wolfensteinception. And I get all the way to the end of the first level. Like, I was at the door, I got the key, opened the door, and the fucking guy behind the door mowed me down, and I just started again from the start. I was like, fuck this shit, flipped the table and went off and did something else. So yeah,
that'll happen.
If you want to play the original Wolfenstein on your new machine, that would be how you could do it. You'd have to get like 3/4 of the way through the game in order to do it, but you could do it. End spoiler. Yeah, so that was it. What are we talking about in the chat? I'm looking at the shit and going, what the fuck? People are talking about Nissans and Holdens.
There's this Ford thing.
What the hell? iPhones, Androids, Holden. What the hell's going on here?
They're saying that the Holden versus Ford deal is kind of the same as iPhone versus Android.
It kind of is.
Essentially the same thing, but there's fanboys for either side.
Yeah, I'd buy that. This is a lovely conversation we're having. Moving on. Well, I think that's it. Anybody else want to have anything else they want to discuss while we're sitting here talking about all manner of things that apparently...
I think we've discussed pretty much everything.
I think we've discussed everything. It's getting late in the night.
I think we've covered it.
It's almost midnight. Well, it's half an hour away from midnight.
The WePlay is trying to add me on Steam.
Who?
Who?
The WePlay is trying to add me on Steam.
WePlay.
Yeah.
WePlay.
Is English Kitsune.
Cool.
In what way are they?
Anyway, whatever.
All right. Well.
In what way are they a WePlay?
If anybody has any questions,
WePlay group on Steam.
Feel free to
now's the time.
Now. Yes, now's the time because there won't be this. There's not going to be a better one because in about 30 seconds I'm going to call it, and then the music will play, and then it'll be the end. So
this doesn't give much time because we're going to need 40 to at least acknowledge what we've said.
Well, that's.
We are in Australia.
This is true, but that was my ploy to go to bed early. Never mind.
There's only such a speed that the carrier pigeons can fly.
Yes.
Tony Express.
The Tony Express.
Tony Express.
Well, we haven't dissed our internet in this podcast. We should probably do a little bit of that.
No, that's been done in the comments. Don't worry about that.
Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad someone's got it covered. Someone's got to diss the diss the Australian internet.
We're all over it. Don't worry about it.
Cool. Yeah, so if you've got any comments or questions, feel free to hit us up. You can either tweet them at us or you can just ask us in the comments now. You've got about a minute until I call it, and then everyone goes home. So now we sit here. Nope, we all sit here in silence.
Best motherboard for cheap.
Oh, I should have played it. Never mind.
You should have.
Best motherboard for cheap. Fucked if I know. I'm not in the. I don't know. I'm not in
I
the
bought-
Look
market
up
for a motherboard.
motherboards. Look up motherboards. Go about in between the highest and lowest. Around there is probably where you want to go.
If you live in Australia, go to was it Ocal? Where do we buy our stuff
PCK
from?
scare.
PC
No,
Case Gear.
Oz PC Market, I suppose, or PC Case Gear,
Or
I
Oz
suppose.
PC Market. Yeah,
Any more D&D
they sell the best
updates?
stuff.
D&D updates? Have I been doing D&D updates? Have I blanked on that?
Have you?
I don't know. Have I?
We haven't played that recently, have we?
Well, yeah, and I haven't really talked about it on the internet. How does Rose
You put it
know?
on your blog, haven't you?
No, I haven't updated my blog in about 3 or 4 months. Oh, yeah, I did write some stuff on there, I guess. D&D, we haven't really been playing because, as it turns out, trying to nail down 4 adults to come to the same spot for 3 to 4 hours
Yeah.
at a time turns out to be quite difficult.
Yeah. See, I work every second weekend. One of the other guys has got a lady friend who takes up a lot of his time.
Fucking all of his time.
But both Keegz and Xenon have kids, and it's very difficult to get everyone all together at the same time.
Yeah.
Of course, we play D&D.
We
We're
play
nerds.
D&D. Exactly. Yeah. Well, we don't. Obviously, we don't play online or anything like that. But we do play.
We should do it one time. We should do like a short.
We should do it like a
campaign
one-shot campaign. You reckon?
Yeah, I think that'd be
I
pretty
guess
fun.
we could sort of do that.
We could use the tabletop simulator.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
that would
we
work
could.
alright.
Yeah.
No, just like a short. Just find like a short campaign we could do.
I want to play it. Over
Everyone
the
would
course
have
of
to have their own dice.
Well, no, you actually just use the tabletop simulator to
We
simulate
just get
dice.
digital DOS or the
Yeah.
tabletop one. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's possible. In the future, it may well happen.
in the future of VR,
Also-
it may well happen.
I also want us to play Secret Hitler too. That'd be hilarious.
Secret Hitler. I must have been getting a drink when we talked about that.
We didn't really talk about Keegz
I'll talk about it
mentioned
later, but I think in the next
later,
week
after the stream.
in the next week or so, like one night we should all play Secret Hitler. I think it'd be fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Cool. Okay.
Anyway,
Internet here
Right,
from here.
now
to
was your
London.
chance for. That was your chance for questions. Now we're done.
Too late. It's over.
Yeah.
I'm just going back.
Good
The
night,
question
everybody.
was, they play D&D. Yes, we play D&D.
Yes, we play D&D.
Yes.
Any other questions?
you might
That's
one day see us playing D&D.
It's possible, although unlikely, because even trying to nail down 4 people to be in this, on the internet at the same time turns out to be fucking difficult. So,
Yes, in most of the time we get 3.
well, actually 5 people now I think about it. That makes it exponentially harder. Although my partner and I obviously live together, so usually if one of us is available, the other one is as well. So, digital dice crashes a lot.
I'm
like
tired
dice
now.
crashes. Yep, I'm tired too.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
Let's go to sleep. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Check us out on Twitter. Check out my YouTube. Check out Keegz' YouTube. It's in the doobly-doo. And we shall see you in 2 weeks, probably. Say goodbye, everybody.
Good
And
night.
keep an eye out for any videos that any of us do.
Yes,
Yeah,
we should
maybe
definitely look
possibly
at
do.
videos that we do.
Yes, we may well play Secret Hitler, and one of us may stream it.
Yes.
Indeed.
Moving on. Bye-bye.
So watch out for that.
Good night.
Night. Sorry, everyone. I realise that nobody could hear the music, so I'm going to play the music again for you now. It'll be very exciting. Hold on. Bye.